don't see how we can make bigger enemies.
To be offended or frightened of everything.
So you've become like the sort of Tony Scarface of podcasting.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to the morning show. My name is George Santruzos. You can catch me at justusdads.ca or the backstagepod.com, two podcasts that I do. I'm going solo for today, at least until what's-his-face comes in, Pantelis.
Yeah.
Right over here, we got our beautiful Poseidon over here controlling the switchboard and all these other gadgets and
beautiful
trinkets and whatever you're doing over there.
Oh, thank you, George.
Where do people catch you, man? The Poseidon69, is that it?
Yeah, on Instagram and Twitter. Also have an exclusive show for Patreon, patreon.com/Pantelis. That is called In Bed with Poseidon. But as of last episode, a week later, it goes on the Pantelis Comedy YouTube channel, available for everyone.
Which one is this? This is the In Bed?
Yeah.
Okay,
but
cool.
if you want the live experience and you want to chit-chat with the boys and I, you gotta
sign up on the Patreon.
Exactamundo. So also, Pantelis releases all kinds of fucking content on our Patreon. It's fucking. I don't think there's a day that you don't get new content.
There's how many? There's like about 1,000 different types of content going on there on a weekly basis.
1,002, bro.
1,002.
1,002.
So head on over to patreon.com/Pantelis to sign up for that exclusive content. Phil is in here. He's out at a sugar shack with his kids and his wife. But you can grab him, not grab him, but you can catch him on, what's his website? Balabanos.com?
I think Balabanos.com, yeah.
Balabanos.com. He makes amazing videos, like he says. And by the way, in case you haven't seen them yet, he produced the entire mini-series that we did at Just Us Dads with our boy Nick Drosos, all about us losing weight. And that's a lot of fun. So we're releasing those episodes every single week, so you can catch those. And that's all Phil, by the way, and he does awesome commercials. Pantelis will be in shortly, and you can catch what he's doing up at panteliscomedy.com.
Yeah, panteliscomedy.com, and he has all the links there and everything. So whatever you want to find, you go to panteliscomedy.com.
There you go. The privileges that he has, that he's allowed to come in late. I mean, it's his show, it's his platform. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Exactly, yeah.
How's it going, man?
Good, bro. Good. I've been seeing what's happening in Shanghai.
Shanghai? What's going on in Shanghai?
Shanghai, bro. Some wild shit, bro. They're going to people's cars, beating the shit out of them, just grabbing them off the street.
This is all COVID related, I assume.
Yes, it's all COVID related. Apparently, they're going into a lockdown only in Shanghai, though. I don't understand why.
There's a lot of content that came out, and I didn't pay attention too much of it because I'm trying to kind of
ignore it.
Not ignore it, but I'm in a little bit of a detox with respect to COVID.
Bro, honestly, I get you 100%.
Yeah, I'm a little selective when it comes to that shit. I just don't want to deal with it. In fact, I actually have a news. I don't even know why I'm saying this, because I have news for us today regarding COVID. But
oh God,
I've been seeing some content actually come out of China where people are still stuck in their houses. I don't know if it's since the very beginning that they're still stuck there, or they're still forcing them to stay in there. I think last week or 2 weeks ago there was some content that came out. There was this audio footage of people yelling in their apartments and they want to go out, and obviously you don't understand it's in Cantonese
I don't know
or
how
Mandarin.
True that is. I don't know how true that is, because there's been numerous situations where people could you could just take a video outside of your apartment building and add sound to
right
it after. I don't know how real that is. I don't know if there's been research, if it's been doctored. I personally would believe it because we had the situations with, remember in Wuhan, they were fucking welding parking complex
I remember
doors
that.
shut. So, you know what? I'm going to go on a hunch here and say it's probably true. But I've seen, I sent you more recent videos where, bro, they're going into people's cars because they assume they have COVID. They're beating the shit out of them, arresting them.
It's weird to see that in the rest of the world, people are still addressing the issue. I'm not saying that governments have ignored it, but they've kind of sort of accepted it. And the clip that you sent me, you have all these police officers dressed in like these hazmat suits, and it's like it's the funniest.
I don't even think it's police officers anymore.
It just says police on it, and it's just random people.
Yeah, well, no, it's obviously the CCP.
Okay.
What's it called? What's it stand for? I keep forgetting.
The Chinese Communist Party?
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. And they have their Gestapo, their agents, and they dress them up like that.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Anytime, not only in China, but anytime you see footage of authoritative figures just abusing their power and their authority, and you have innocent people getting beaten or shoved or whatever, it bugs me, man. And you have people in the background yelling and screaming, and it's.
But did you see the thread where they apparently said that people translated what they were saying?
No, I didn't see it.
They were apparently saying one of two things. They were either saying like, "Be quiet, you're gonna ruin everything, woman."
Woman, yeah.
We're getting ready for the war in.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Yeah, don't you understand? We're going to war soon with the U.S. What is it that you don't get? Yeah.
Or there's another translation that people are saying there's going to be a war in the U.S. So maybe they've been throwing in propaganda and they're expecting a civil war to pop off.
The brainwashing.
Because don't forget, there's all kinds of propaganda in China happening too about the West.
It's crazy because these are countries that there's very little media coming out for us to be informed, right? I mean, the media is controlled over there, so obviously we don't know exactly how they're informed. I mean, look, we have issues here with our media, so imagine how it is in China. But yeah, it's incredible to be living in a society where you're closed in from what's happening outside. You don't know. You just trust blindly what the government and whatever officials are telling you about what's happening, and you just have to believe it. Yeah, we're going to war with the U.S. Just traumatizing people.
That's been North Korea's reality for God knows how many years.
North Korea, nobody knows what's going on in North Korea until recently. Where did you see that Joe Rogan episode with that the young Korean girl that ran away?
Yeah. No, I didn't see it though. But
holy shit, man!
I heard that they do fucked up shit.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
Yeah, they'll abduct family members.
Not only that, they think that they're the only ones in the entire planet. Like it's them. There's nothing else around.
Yeah.
Like just we belong here.
Yeah. Yeah, they think there's been like an apocalypse and this is the safe haven. Bro, how insane is that, bro?
No, honestly, it's straight out of a fucking movie. You don't believe these things are true. It's incredible.
Bro, you know what I'm gonna do, bro? I'm gonna dress up so outlandish, outlandish one day. I'm gonna show up. I'm like, I am your god.
You're gonna show up where in North Korea?
Yeah. Your reaction. Sure, man. Yeah, sure. You do you.
As long as we get a camera crew or someone there to film it.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you're on the floor being beaten the shit out. Guys, help! But shit, you crossed the line, dude.
Yeah.
I can't come help you. Oh my goodness. Let's get to the news, man.
Yeah. Let's do this.
Let me just take a look at my list over here and see what we can start
What you got, George?
Okay, this is something that you're going to love. So every day, for those who don't know, for the last 2 years or a little over 2 years, the health department comes out with daily tweets about the situation in Quebec with respect to COVID, the numbers, the infection rates, and all that stuff. And it's a tweet, and there's usually a link that you can click on it, and it gives you all the detailed figures for the entire province. For some reason yesterday, and still nobody understands how this happened, or we may suspect on what happened.
Somebody with the same brain as I. Working for the government.
Exactly. Definitely someone that follows In Bed with Poseidon, like a real fan of the show for sure. That has infiltrated our health department. Puts out the tweet here. Click below for all the information. And upon clicking on the link, it would redirect you to a Pornhub site. Was it Pornhub? I think it was Pornhub.
Pornhub, yeah.
And specifically, it was a video on foot fetish or whatever the hell it was.
Fetishes.
And to give you an idea of how lost these people are, it took a whole 40 minutes before they put it down and corrected it.
Yeah, that's kind of long.
Kind of long. It's like, how do you not know there's a mistake? Like, immediately, you put out that tweet, within the first couple of minutes, people were reacting to it. What takes you so long? So, anyway, the health department is investigating now and to see exactly how that happened. Like, what do you mean how it happened? You have an employee, clearly, that is looking at porn throughout the day.
But what if it's just somebody that's really into feet in government that, like, you know, at the same time he was watching foot porno, and then, you know.
No, that's exactly, I think that's exactly what happened. The guy's watching porn during his work hours on public servers.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, first of all, you got to be dumb to do that to begin with.
He grabbed the wrong link.
Yeah, he's like, oh, okay, copy, paste, let's go. He's like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be in this guy's head. Oh, no, I don't know what happened. What? How did that link? And, I just want to know the supervisor.
You know, bro, this is how it played out. He's there. He's like, fuck, I really want to jerk off at my office right now. And the guy's just
I'm going on break soon. I need some material.
He opens up Pornhub on private browsing. He's like, yeah, I'm about to jerk off. Bro, his fucking boss barges in, poof. Release the fucking shit now, or the stats or whatever. The link. He's like, fucking. He gets all frustrated, so he rushed. He's like, this piece of shit, and he's insulting his boss like behind his back. And he's like, this
is all facts, guys. By the way, this is exactly how things go.
This motherfucker. And then instead of grabbing the link for the stats, he grabbed the link for Pornhub.
Put it up there. Yeah. His foot fetish.
He was just rushing because he wanted.
I mean, how embarrassing is it that look, things like this obviously happen. I mean, it's not the first time. It probably won't be the last that the mistakes happen and that you put the wrong links or whatever. One, it's surprising that it wasn't corrected much sooner. But every time stuff like this happens, I want to put myself in that person's shoes that made the mistake.
Well, have you never jerked off at work, George?
No.
Come on, be honest.
No.
Let's say when you were 18, 19, bro.
No.
You didn't rub one out real quick in the bathroom, bro?
No. I don't know exactly what you do, but I've taken my jobs quite seriously. It's like, yeah, let me go to the bathroom and rub one out. Yeah, no.
What? Okay.
You guys should see his face. Like,
it's just me.
Am I the only one here? You know when you say something expecting to get a different reaction? Yeah, bro, all the time. And then that gives you the fuel to say, yeah, bro, I remember once. And he was just stuck in his tracks there. Yeah, no, I never had to do that. Mind you, all the jobs I've had, I've worked with people always, all around me. And so, yeah, no, I've never been like alone or somewhere where I would have that flexibility to do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Bad jobs.
You need jobs where you're alone, guys.
You need a
so that you can run to the bathroom and rub one off.
Yeah, you need to have a job with that kind of flexibility. You gotta ask for it in the interview. I have a question for you.
How often do I work alone here? Just out of curiosity. And how far is the bathroom from the desk?
And also, what kind of bathrooms are they? Personal bathrooms, public bathrooms? How many stalls are there? Do the stalls have gaps? You start asking weirdly specific questions.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Everyone that has ever rented a car from the place where you used to work are starting to really...
Sorry?
Every single person that has rented a car from that place where you worked at is probably questioning themselves right now.
Oh, it's part of the cleaning process.
Did this guy handle my car? Shit. So that's what happened over at our esteemed health department, ladies and gentlemen. We have some strange people working there.
Yeah. Foot fetishes, fun fact, George, they're much more common than you'd think.
Oh, I don't doubt that for a second.
It's much more common, and it has nothing to do with somebody being like really like perverted or like a really bad like fetish. It's basically the part of the brain where it controls kind of like what you find sexually attractive.
Science right here. Science, yeah.
Yeah, I've searched this up. Obviously,
no doubt, yeah.
I've researched this, but obviously I'm butchering the fucking explanation. So the part where you get arousal and the part where limbs are No, I think feet, where feet
Yeah,
are,
yeah.
they're like right next to each other in the brain. Like if you cut the brain in half, right? Like this.
Fucking neuroscience.
They're right next to each other. Now, what happens is a lot of people actually, what happens is that part of the brain kind of like crosses. So like it touches where it's not supposed to touch.
Yeah, the wires cross.
Yeah, the wires cross. And the part where you're supposed to see, vagina and be aroused, you see feet and you're aroused. You understand? So there's some wires cross there, and it's a perfectly normal thing. A lot of people, our friend Jacob has a foot fetish.
Yeah, I heard that on one of their episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sees feet and
They went really in
out.
disturbing detail about how they love feet.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a theory before the neuroscience shit came out. There was a theory that
Before all the theories that Poseidon has read and studied.
before all the I read in Neuroscience Weekly, bro. Leave me alone.
Neuroscience Weekly. yeah.
Before that came out, there was a theory that a lot of men had a foot fetish because when they were babies and they were crawling, the first thing they saw was their mother's feet.
That seems quite far-fetched.
It is a little far-fetched.
The first thing they see are feet, so they develop a foot fetish.
Oh, is he talking about the foot fetishes?
Welcome.
Am I right on time for the foot convo?
Right,
You are right on time.
right
sir.
on
So
time.
are people gonna stop believing the government finally, bro? Do you remember this?
Listen, it's an innocent little soul. He got
Well, no,
trapped
no, no,
at
no,
work.
no.
We know exactly what's happening now over at
Further
our government
look,
institutions.
They started this. The government started off. They were like, "You gotta worship the politicians," and it didn't work. Then like, "You gotta worship Fauci." People are like, "Go fuck this guy." You gotta worship the mask. Now you gotta worship feet. No, I'm done. I'm done with this stuff.
This hidden agenda.
It's an agenda.
Yeah.
Next, these pederasts are gonna tell us to worship the kitty stuff, bro.
Yeah.
No.
We were
I'm
just.
done.
I was just telling him every time something like this happens, I want to put myself in this person's shoes. It's like, how bad do you feel? Like they know it's you.
What's crazy is that person, because of their fetish, wants to put themselves in your shoes.
Like they know it's them, and the superiors, they're covering for your ass because they don't want to look stupid. Oh yeah, it's true, ladies and gentlemen. We apologize for that.
But it is true.
We do have an employee who has showed signs of disturbing fetishes, and we'll
But is
take
it
care of it
disturbing
appropriately.
fetishes? Because as far as I
they're never
understand-
going to come out and say
No,
that, right? They're like,
but-
"Oh, we have no idea how this happened. We're investigating it, but we corrected as soon as we caught it." Meanwhile, behind the scenes, like fucking Poseidon.
Yeah, but truth be told, it's the tamest thing they could have put on that site.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Yeah, it could have been something weird.
But-
Like, can you imagine if it was like some ridiculous child porn or whatever?
Yeah, that's what I said. Like
Yeah,
something
yeah, yeah.
crazy it could have been. Or like a
Yo.
link to his hard drive.
But like I told George, bro, foot fetishes are much more common.
They are. That
Yeah, I knew that they're common because a lot of actors and Tarantino has a foot. Like, there's a lot of known foot fetish. So I don't mind that.
Tarantino has feet in every one of his movies.
I thought it was like a really weird, wacky thing up until like recently. I thought it was like, that's weird.
I don't care feet. It's not. They do.
Speaking of Tarantino, just
I prefer you have nice feet. Obviously, I don't want to have disgusting feet.
Yeah.
But even if you have nice feet, I'm not gonna.
Speaking of
No,
Tarantino,
do anything to
I
feet.
shave my feet.
you
No,
shave
I'm
your
talking
feet,
about ladies, bro.
like
Your
under.
feet stay the fuck away from me.
Why would you shave your
I
feet?
don't shave my feet.
You just said you
You
shave
just
your
said you
feet.
shave your feet. That thing that came out, yeah.
I'm sorry.
I did. What the fuck's wrong
He's
with
got
this guy?
disgusting feet. This guy.
Speaking of Tarantino, I started listening to Bill Maher's podcast. He
Sorry
started
to
a
hear
podcast.
that. Yeah.
And he had Tarantino. I don't know if they're fucking high or if they're drunk or both. That entire episode makes absolutely no sense. It's like just going from one topic to ridiculous. I've never heard Tarantino like this ever.
Oh, he's just out of it.
Oh, man, they're both of them. They're out of it. Anyway,
Maybe they got high right before they both like to smoke.
guaranteed. But
Yeah.
they say it live. I mean, you can hear them lighting up a joint
Oh, okay.
and
That's
drinking and stuff.
That's
but,
what a podcast is, bro. It's just a bunch of stone dudes yelling.
anyway, so
Yeah, this foot fetish thing.
I just can't believe. And I was telling him, I can't believe it took 40 minutes for them to correct it. Like you make a
They
mistake.
kept getting distracted. They kept clicking on the link.
Try it again. It's impossible. You did not make a mistake. Okay, let me click. No, go back, refresh, try it again. No, it's the right link. Come on, you put the right link. Yeah, I did. Refresh. Like
Guys, I'm gonna
40
be
minutes
honest.
later.
I don't know what you thought the right link was, but this is the right link. There's just arguments about that.
Oh, God. Sticking to Quebec politics for a second, and we have quite a few things to talk about in Quebec because there's a bunch of things happening.
In Quebec?
Let's just address the fact that, well, we spoke about it last episode as well, that we're well into the 6th wave right now. And you have all these red alerts coming now from the government, right? So you have the health minister coming out and saying, look, we got to be careful, please. You know, it's Easter weekend. By the way, for those celebrating Easter this weekend, happy Easter to you.
I celebrate real Easter. I think it's next week.
The real Easter is next week. So they're coming out with all these red alerts, all these warnings. Listen, guys, it's Easter. Please be careful. You know, there's a ridiculous amount of people going back to the hospitals. We're in the 6th wave. So this is coming out from the health minister, warning everyone.
In between foot jobs.
Yeah, in between the foot jobs. Yeah. And then you have the premier coming on and say, "Well, I'm not so worried about it." I mean, and again, the next 2 weeks are gonna be crazy. But after that, I think it's gonna be fine.
I don't think they're gonna be
That 2 weeks thing, man. Can we just drop that already? I mean, we know that it's bullshit.
Oh, the 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Look, I think
They mentioned it again the other day. They're like, okay, look, the next 2 weeks are gonna be a little
guys,
hectic.
it's just 2 feet to flatten the curve.
So yeah, warnings from the government that we're in the 6th wave. The numbers are rising though. The problem though, however, is that
But I don't care about the numbers, right? I care about the cases because my most vulnerable friend got it,
yeah.
and he's doing comedy.
Yeah.
He's A-OK.
Well, from the numbers, from the stuff that I read, it appears that most people entering the hospitals aren't going in there because of COVID. It's because the flu season is high and there's other stuff, and they end up catching COVID.
Yeah.
And then they have to keep them in the hospitals in order to
make sure they're cool.
Exactly, to treat them or whatever. Well, not to treat them. You can't treat them, but to monitor them. So, yeah, there you have it.
Yesterday, the first thing I met somebody, and the first thing he told me was, "Yo, we had a friend of ours over here. He's been in a coma for 3 days because of COVID."
Holy shit.
Yeah, I was like, how do you open with that? Like, I was like, I don't know.
I mean, like, what happened? He's like,
Yeah,
yeah, bro, it's crazy, bro.
well, I didn't know,
Fucking,
'cause-
he had COVID, he coughed, and he slammed his car somewhere. He's been in a coma for 3 days.
Well, I didn't know what to say, so I said, "Damn, that's crazy."
Who said this?
the guy yesterday. That was
Who, the stickler for the rules?
Yeah.
The stickler for the rule? That guy's full of shit, bro. The guy who was investigating, that guy.
My thing was here.
Yeah.
It was like this. I was like, "Damn, that's
Who?
crazy."
That guy's a dumbass, bro.
Yeah.
Let me investigate. Let me investigate. What is that in your pocket? Let me investigate. What a loser, bro.
Suddenly, we all know who they're talking about.
Yeah, I don't like-
especially if he watches the show.
I don't like sticklers, bro. I don't like sticklers. Well, you know, if it's 3 meters, you're at 297 right now. Go fuck yourself, bro.
Who the fuck
Go
is
get some
man?
friends,
You guys are
bro.
hanging out with Daffy
Go-
Duck. Fuck.
Yeah,
what's
go get
going
some
on?
fucking friends, bro. Imagine getting laid. Your life would change. Yeah. I'm a stickler. I'm a stickler. In high school, I was a hall monitor. Yep. I couldn't go to my prom. They vetoed it, the students.
I'm dying to know who this kid is. Do I know this person?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's not a kid. It's a full-grown adult.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Grown-ass man.
Poseidon. Anyways, fuck that guy. That guy's full of shit.
Poseidon licks his toes.
What?
You lick his
I
toes.
can't reach, bro.
Poseidon, you have a foot fetish, you said, no?
No, I never had a foot fetish.
You said something similar.
No, feet. Like I get disgusted. Like I can't. Like I go. "Eee."
What about lady feet?
Not just feet, man.
No, feet.
Lady
I
feet.
can't. I can't stand feet.
Yeah.
First of all, I find it.
You can't stand on your feet, but that is
No,
a
I
weight
can't-
issue.
I can't. No, I can't stand. I can't stand feet. Like I get disgusted, and I see it as like disrespectful.
I can't stand the Swiss. So we're in the same boat.
I missed your shows 2 weeks in a row, and
I'm doing shows every night, bro.
I messaged Pantelis 2 weeks ago. It was a Thursday. I thought I was going to finish work early, and I'm like, oh, fuck it. I have a free evening. I'm like, let
Bro,
me
I'm trying to
see.
set myself up mentally to get on stage, bro. And this guy's asking 1,000 stupid questions.
There's not 1,000 questions. I
What,
like,
are you on stage tonight? Yeah. Where? Here. Or to what time? I don't know. Then I have to go to another show. What time is that show? I go as soon as I
Yeah, like
end this one.
approximately, so I could kind of judge by the
I don't
time
know.
I
As soon as
finish
I
or
finish
whatever.
one,
you
I
know?
run to another.
In any case, I go, okay, I'll be there. And then
Never shows up.
I never showed up. I was stuck at work.
Then he messaged me 2 days ago. He's
And
like,
then
I'm coming to your
yesterday-
show tonight. I
was
like,
it
"That's fine."
yesterday?
It's 2 days ago. Before yesterday.
Wednesday. I'm like, yeah, man, okay, I'm gonna come. No, I'm good. You're like, I don't think you're gonna come. I'm in Sherbrooke. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, but you missed an amazing show in Sherbrooke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Yo, Sherbrooke was fucking. Like I was there, bro.
Place was shaking.
Place was shaking, bro.
How's the crowd, man? Are people like enthused that they're back to sort of
All
normalcy?
of them, all transgender, transgender,
good,
which
that's
was
good.
interesting.
That
Which
was a
was
big trans fan base.
Big trans core, which was cool. Very out there, wacky hairdos and such, but very enthusiastic. A lot of clapping, a lot of slamming on tables.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah, for real, a lot of slamming on tables.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It's good. It's
I
good.
had a good time at Sherbrooke. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit, just a follow up from what we had said last week about the Liberal Party of Quebec just on free fall. We had mentioned that they had proposed an amendment to the bill that's being studied now to beef up the French language, Bill 96. And they proposed an amendment to an article where they would impose 3 mandatory French classes to the students.
Mandatory.
Mandatory, yeah, and without consulting, the people on the ground, without consulting any university professionals.
Wait, this is for universities?
No, this is for college. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then
Shouldn't we have mandatory French classes from elementary here? Shouldn't everyone learn both languages?
well, it
in Quebec?
depends because if you're grandfathered in and you're studying in English,
But let's say you're studying English. Shouldn't you? You live in Quebec.
I think they have,
you
but I
have to
mean they
learn?
don't. Yeah, I mean I don't.
do.
I mean I don't know how it works, and if anyone knows, they can feel free to chat with
Isn't it
us. But
stupid to live in
I
Quebec
don't-
and miss half the languages here?
I think if you're grandfathered in, you're studying in English, you don't need obviously the French, but I think they do study in French or they do take some French course, but I don't think it's mandatory for them to pass or to advance.
My brothers went to Lauren Hill. They went to an English school. So they had like
they're very susceptible to credit card
they had
fraud.
like they had like 2 or 3 French classes. I would say 2 a week. But the
I like
French
how
was-
you would say two. Like I'd say two.
And he's going there with this thing,
But
two.
their French was terrible for the longest time until they started working in customer service. Their French became
Honestly, I agree with you 100%. The best way to learn French is to actually work in the French environment. It's
No,
the,
but
it's
you're
the
not
best.
gonna.
Obviously,
if you're gonna, the first time you speak French is when you're 25 working somewhere. That's not. You're
understand.
gonna be like, "Je parle le French pour vous aider."
you'd be surprised. You'd be
Je suis
surprised
in
how.
Gérant de Burger King. I went right into Patterson.
No, but you'd be surprised how fast, because we had some interns that came to our office, more English speaking, like from the angle, like they didn't go to French school. And obviously, being in our office, they had to speak French. And when they came in, it was a little iffy. But slowly, we saw the transition, from the, French to the okay, pretty good, So in any case, back to the bill. So 2 weeks ago,
Sorry, I cut you off, George. Before you continue into the bill, Jisoo Sextan dropped $5 rules in the chat. Thanks everyone for keeping me company during the 2 years I wasn't working. Big red heart.
Oh.
Shame I can't usually attend the lives now that I have a job again. Don't worry
Well,
about it.
congrats on the job. That's more important.
Yeah.
But we are happy to have kept you company. Actually, I heard a lot of that stuff this whole last 2 weeks because we've been going different places and I get to meet a lot of the fans, some patrons, all that. A lot of people have been saying, dudes, you don't understand the company. Like I've listened to thousands of hours of you for 2 years. Like we know each other. So it's
yeah, that's amazing.
yeah, it's fucking crazy.
It's really good.
I'm
It's really
having
cool.
a lot of fun. And I'm glad, we're assholes, but we have left a positive impact.
Yep.
Yeah. Especially in Ethiopia. I've stolen all of their food.
By the way, I would like to address something about the French also. The French. My French, what's crazy is I went to a French school, but my French became better when I interacted with people in French, like because I worked in customer service a lot.
Yeah. Oh, my high school fucked up my French, bro. It was a terrible school.
Because they were so authoritarian on you that you were like, fuck you. You know what I mean? We're rebels as teenagers, especially Greeksters.
Bro, you don't understand. My school was so extreme. They wanted even words that are universally accepted in both languages, they would be mad at. You get it?
Yeah.
Like they don't want you to say Walmart or whatever. You had to find another word to make up Walmart, PlayStation. Like they were very fucked up, and that's
Murmart.
yeah, no, but shit like that. Like just to be like it's like guys, that's not helping. That doesn't help the language.
Yeah.
But in any case, so here's how embarrassing this is with a party. So 2 weeks ago, they came out and proposed this amendment to enforce 3 mandatory French classes. Then they realized that shit, we made a mistake
It's a huge error in judgment.
because these kids that have never studied French in their life, they're gonna end up in CEGEP and they're gonna need to pass those 3 courses in order to get their diploma, and obviously they won't be able to. So there was this huge wave of criticism that came from the ground, and I know a couple people that work in the English school board.
Hey, what the fuck, bro? Turn your phone off.
That called me specifically to tell me what the fuck are you guys
Your
doing?
phone just rang, bro.
Yeah, there was a little beep.
Like we literally, I hate it when he does that. He's like, my phone's off. It's like, bro, what are you fucking kidding me?
Okay, because these headphones are like super soundproof.
Yeah.
It felt like it came from over there.
Sure.
Sure. Okay.
I swear to God.
In any case,
Okay, what it felt like? Did you have your phone off?
No.
Exactly.
No. Okay. No. I apologize.
Carry on.
So they acknowledged their mistake, and then they came back 2 weeks ago and asked the different parties to allow them to withdraw that amendment. The other party said, "Fuck off, no way. It's
Too
your
late,
fault.
bitch."
Live with it."
Yeah.
So they went back to the drawing board, and they came back this week with
A new idea? Is it starting a war? That usually works.
But I mean, they're I don't understand what they're doing. They're fumbling and they have zero consistency. So they came back and said, "Okay, look, we're not asking you to remove our amendment, but can you amend our amendment?" And they're like, "Okay, what's the proposition now?" So they're like,
the amendment is it doesn't exist.
So they're like, "Okay, look, we're not gonna make these courses mandatory, especially for the kids that have studied English, that are grandfathered into the English schools." But they will opt to have any courses, French as a second language kind of thing, So they're not. It's not mandatory for them to graduate, but they're at least taking courses. So now the parties over there are examining it. I'm not so sure exactly what they're going to do. Obviously, the Pascal Bérubé, who's from the Parti Québécois, this guy's amazing. He's fucking hilarious. Every time the Liberals are coming up with this sort of amendment, he goes publicly. He gives a press conference. The first time around, and he says it in English, right? That's so funny, yeah. He's like, and he's talking French, and he's like, ben, tu sais, on fait un amendement, puis nous,
For
en ce
these
coin-là,
idiots, he
puis en ce
continues.
moment-là, ben, c'est live with it. Tu sais. C'est votre
Oh,
problème.
bro,
So
that's
this-
amazing.
That's
amazing.
So this time around, he's giving his press conference. He's doing his press conference. He's like, écoutez là, c'est pas vrai là qu'on va faire le changement because the liberals are in the shit.
Who's this guy?
Pascal Bérubé.
I like this guy. I gotta bring him to the podcast.
He's fucking funny. He gets elected out of Matane, all the way in the eastern part of Quebec.
That's so funny.
Yeah, they're just mocking the Liberal Party up in Quebec City. And so nobody knows what's happening. I've been speaking to a couple of friends that are still up there, and everybody is fucking lost. It's not going well for the party. On Monday this week, I was in Marie-Victorin. It's the riding, basically it's Longueuil. There was a by-election over there.
How do you know the election's by?
I figured it was by.
As
Yeah,
soon
yeah.
as he said by-election, I was waiting.
So, and
a
obviously, this is a strong. It's a PQ stronghold, right? So the Liberal Party wasn't expected to win. I just went to give a hand. Problem is, the PQ actually lost it. The CAQ won, which was the biggest surprise ever.
Really?
Oh my God, yeah. But in addition to that, the Liberal Party's percentages were just disastrous. And again, I'm not saying that they were expecting to win, but they were aiming at getting the traditional between 10 to 12, maybe 15%.
And what'd they get?
7.
How'd that happen? Is it because of all this nonsense?
I don't know. I mean, they've lost their base. There's something happening in the Liberal Party. There's obviously an internal crisis somewhere.
You think?
I don't know if it's the leader and if there's a trust issue with her, but there's a lot of people that aren't happy. And I'm even going as far as to say that there's an internal crisis in the caucus. Like, people are really not happy. This whole thing with
Is
Bill
this
96.
just provincial or all liberals are unhappy? Federal too.
No, the provincial and federal, the Liberal Party are two different things.
Do you think maybe they would benefit from having like the leader of the federal Liberal Party just come here and just paint a smile on their faces?
I would rip my membership card.
Okay.
I would rip it.
I didn't get that.
It's
He's
okay.
saying if the leader of the federal Liberals, meaning Justin Trudeau, would come and take over the provincial
and
Liberals.
paint a smile on their faces.
And paint us.
For the low IQ, that doesn't work. For the high IQ, they're high fiving and laughing.
Yeah, that's an amazing joke.
Go fuck yourself. You missed it the first 3 times.
Yeah, I was thinking something else. Sorry.
So I think there's an internal crisis. I've been speaking to some MNAs, and You know, obviously they're keeping.
I love the M&As. I was speaking some nah.
to some Nas. Yeah, they're keeping it a bit on the down low. They don't want it to come out publicly because if the media picks up that there's a crisis in the caucus, then it's fucking over. It's good. But I'm almost sure. And here's the thing: if there's really a crisis within the caucus, eventually it's going to leak, and eventually the media is going to pick up on it, and then it's just
Can't
gonna
have the caucus leak. A leaky caucus is the cause of much a ruckus.
So that's it for the Liberal Party. I mean, I don't know what's happening. Dominique Anglade is struggling to keep her head above water.
Is she the one that pushed most of this dumb shit?
Look, a lot of people are criticizing her. I don't think that the crisis started now with her. The crisis in the Liberal Party started in 2014 when we lost those elections, when Jean Charest lost, in 2012 when we lost those elections, and then Philippe Couillard came. And I don't want to criticize Philippe Couillard. I think he did amazing work. The big problem with Philippe Couillard is that he was completely disconnected with the base. And that was one thing that distinguished the leadership of Jean Charest. Regardless of whatever he did, and you can criticize the guy all you want, I'm telling you from within that there was never so much enthusiasm and connection with the base, right?
He's connected to his voter base, this guy, Charest.
People were ready to go to war with this guy, honestly.
Right. Which is why he shifted to another party now.
That was his party initially. He started from the Conservatives in Ottawa.
But
Jean
you don't
Charest.
think that flippity-floppity Charest isn't that dangerous? Because he just seems
not
to be going where the momentum is.
No, he's
So
not.
I find that all shit suspicious, bro. How can you be a politician for like one side, but then advocate?
And then go back the other side.
But
Yeah,
there's no
like,
flip
how
and
do you-
flopping. The Jean Charest, for those who don't know, started his political career at the Conservative Party of Canada. He got elected under Brian Mulroney in the early '80s. He was one of the youngest ministers, I think, at that time. And then
50.
in '95, with the referendum over here, he was the leader of the Progressive Conservative Party up in Ottawa, and he played a huge role in mobilizing voters on the no side. Based on what he says, he saw that there was like this, this movement brewing in Quebec in favor of sovereignty, and from what he said, again, that's what motivated him to leave federal politics, come provincially, and kind of put that to rest, which he did. And it wasn't a momentum because the Liberal Party back then was in opposition, and they lost again in the elections of '98. So Jean Charest came in and stayed in opposition, and then he only ended up winning in 2003. So that's it. So he had a pretty long career as a premier over here in Quebec, and now he's witnessing that his party needs help at the federal level. So he just went back. So a lot of people are saying, bro, you're a liberal. Again,
I prefer Poilievre.
Poilievre, and I said this on Wednesday, I've been following the leadership campaign. I don't have a horse
This guy's
in the race.
got a huge following.
Holy shit, what's happening? Are you guys seeing the videos and the images coming out of that leadership campaign?
No, but I keep hearing about it.
Guys, this guy by himself is grouping these crowds that normally end up in general for a party convention. He's getting them just by himself.
You heard it here first from George. Pierre Poilievre has groupies.
He does have groupies.
Oh, for sure.
Dude, we're talking about thousands of people. It's incredible.
Supposed to get him on the podcast soon. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I've been working on that as well. We don't know exactly when that's happening, and our friend that's trying to attach that is in Greece at the moment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was this interparliamentary thing with the Senate, so he's...
Yeah. I think we're going through the same channels.
We definitely are.
One of my channels is Phil's dad. That's my channel.
Yeah. Well, Phil's dad is going indirectly through our senator friend, who is his co-chair, national co-chair.
I already said it, bro. Politician comes on my show, wins that goddamn election.
There was an interesting article that came out. I think it was in what was it, the National Post, or I can't remember which newspaper published it. And again, it's I don't think it's significant in any way, shape, or form. But because there's this huge hype on the amounts of people that this guy's gathering in all his throughout his leadership campaign. What's his name? Was it Preston Manning? I can't remember. During the leadership race in the 90s for the Conservative Party, there was this guy, I think it was Preston Manning. So there's a journalist that goes, oh yeah, Pierre Poilievre beat this. And he attached an article from back in the 90s when Manning had assembled like over 4,000 people in one of his leadership convention tours. I can't remember where. And the point of this article was that look at this guy. This guy was rallying thousands of people as well, but he lost the election in '93. The Liberals won. You know,
Possible.
so it goes. Look, the fact that you're bringing thousands of people, does that mean anything? Yes, no. Again, we can't compare.
You know what happens often? Someone has so much momentum that their voter base, like, this guy's gonna win, and they don't go out and vote.
Yeah, that's the most dangerous thing. I've lived that. I've experienced that.
Yeah. Oh, that happened to you actually.
It didn't. I'm not so sure if it happened to me. I think me it was just.
I went to vote for you.
circumstances.
I went out of my
Thank
way
you,
to
man.
vote for you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I remember I
appreciate
had to go to that stupid school.
Yeah, no, but I've lived. I mean, I remember campaigning, and at a time like you said, people were like, "Don't worry, man, you're gonna go through," and that's the most dangerous thing,
Yeah.
right? Because if hundreds of people say, "Don't worry, it's in the bag for him, and we'll stay home." Obviously, you need the numbers, right? You
Yeah.
need people to go out to vote. What I would do, I would call our friends at the newspapers, and I would tell them, "Yeah, it's going bad. It's going bad. We're fucking losing this one." They're like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "It's horrible. I'm giving you an inside scoop. Don't tell anybody."
Because you knew they were gonna tell.
Of course. I'm like, "Don't tell anybody, just so you could know we're running our internal numbers here, and we're losing, and we're losing big." The next issue, front page. We're losing our seats, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. We would scare the people to go vote.
Fear
Sorry
mongering.
about that. Sorry about that.
So you're saying is government lies?
I had to do
when you need people.
I wasn't
to
in
try.
government. This is all electoral stuff, and I did my job.
You did your job, dude. That's I'm telling you right now. Everything I know about the government, you did your job 100%.
You did it
fucking
exactly.
lied.
You did exactly like it was supposed
You
to.
blatantly lied and then said sorry.
You understood the assignment.
You understood the assignment, bro. It's what's happening now.
I didn't lie. I was basing myself on.
You 100% lied.
I was
100%.
basing
You didn't
myself
even-
on. Look, I was basing myself on certain polls that had us actually losing, but we knew that those polls weren't exact.
some
But
people
if we had to prove it, I would tell them, look at this poll. We were like down by 5% or whatever the hell it was. You know?
I
But
know
we
you
knew that those
politicians-
polls meant nothing. Like it was one poll out of I don't know how many were polling in the area.
The only
you know?
polls that mean anything are the people of Poland.
Like some people omit or bend the truth. You like straight up broke it.
No. Again, there were polls that we were getting that had us losing, but that would happen all the time, and we would neglect them because we knew that. I don't know how they extrapolated, because everything is based on the national polls, and then they kind of extrapolated down to the regions and to the different ridings. And
Giving us the government answer.
no, it was never exact. From 2007 all the
It's
way up until
2 weeks
my
to flatten
campaign,
the curve, bro. It's only been 2 weeks at a time.
we lost. We would we would lose on the polls from 2007 all the way in 2018. We were losing all the polls, and yet we kept winning, and with increasing majorities. The only time the polls were actually right was in 2018.
Is that when you ran?
Of course. We're like,
Because they were
fuck,
onto
have
your,
us-
they
have
were
us
onto your
losing.
bullshit.
They have us losing again. Do we believe in this time around or not? We're like, fuck it. And it actually ended up happening.
I think you would have won if you didn't go brown face. I think that's what ruined your whole campaign.
Fuck, I knew I shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
I knew I shouldn't have
But
done
no one has done brown face worse than Lemonzoglu. When he was running, bro, they painted that picture. Dude, they made him look Pakistani.
it. He was running municipally.
But, dude, why?
What was the party they had? Some bullshit party they had created. The Ethnic Party of Montreal or some shit like that.
The nearly blackface party, yeah.
What a dumb idea to create an ethnic party. Like, dude, you're not running there to represent one ethnicity or
yeah.
one community.
It should be the
group.
people that live there, yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it was so funny. I was like, wait, what the fuck happened? Is that a mistake? And then everyone's telling me, no, it's on purpose. They darkened
I
him up.
remember, now that
I was
you
like,
mention-
dude, this is ridiculous. Someone's going to know that that's a fake photo.
Now that you mention this, I remember running into him during that campaign, and obviously I was helping Mary Darrows. We had a great collaboration with Mary. I love Mary, and even though I was working provincially, I was in politics already. That weekend or that last week, I think I took off just to help Mary out. And I remember the actual election.
He's her neighbor.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, she's a great lady. And so that election day, so I was running around the different voting stations, just collecting information, all that stuff. So we're not getting into the details of how it works.
Is this it?
And no, that's not him. That's the guy that created the party. That's Monir Hussein. I know that guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, and so I'm running to different voting stations, and I run into our friend. And I'm being nice now, right? I'm like, and he thought I was going to vote. He's like, "Hey, how's it going, George?" I'm like, "Hey, I'm good. You know, good luck. Congratulations on everything on your campaign." I'm like, "How's it going?" He goes, "Amazing. We're winning. we're fucking gonna win. I'm getting all this information. And
You
goes,
seen the tan I got on that poster?
he's like, thanks for voting for me. I'm like, oh no, dude,
They
I'm
think
not.
they're voting for a black man.
I felt there was like part of me that I felt really bad, but I couldn't be dishonest. And he's like, hey, I appreciate your support, man. You're going to vote, right? I'm like, no, I'm actually working for Mary Darrow, so I'm going to collect the papers.
Such a civil war. If you, bro, it was so fucking funny. I don't know why people think if they're a visible minority, it's gonna help them in the votes. Like, why would that help? Just have a good fucking good slogan, have a good platform, and you're gonna get the votes.
Look, I said this last week. I'm in favor of parties being representative. I think that it's their duty to have within their caucus and within their team people that represent a wide spectrum of Quebec
Yeah,
society.
but the real person, like I'm representing me. It's Pantelis. This is what Pantelis looks like. If I'm like I'm representing minorities and then I'm in blackface, that's crazy.
Exactly. I think that they should have like a guy like Pantelis who's Greek. Why? Because we have a pretty huge population of Greek citizens, and we should have a representation in all the parties, and not just the liberal or conservatives, like all around the. Where was I going with this?
You were trying to defend blackface.
No, I wasn't trying to blackface. Where was I going? Oh, you were talking about representing only one group.
No,
or
I was
whatever.
just saying, like, what's the point? Basically, the marriage should be your platform and what you do, not the color of your skin.
100%. 100%. I think the people should, or the people running should have all the citizens' interests at heart.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do believe that the party should be representative because that's Quebec reality.
I'm not saying not to be. I'm saying actual representation.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we're saying the same thing.
Yeah, I'm saying actual representation. Get a real black guy then.
Yeah.
Not someone who's dressed like one.
Yeah. And it's a big problem. So look, and elections are coming in October, and whoever's listening, maybe you can do the test and follow, if you do remember, in October what's going to happen. So you're going to have all these parties now. They're going to come out and say, oh, shit, look, we have women represented, we have ethnics, we have black people, we have Asians, we have everyone. And Legault does this a lot because last campaign he came out and said, we have the most women candidates from all parties.
We draft
combined.
them straight out of college. This broad just beat all the rest of them in swimming.
But so see, people. I'm not going to call people gullible. It's just that they're getting
What
this
can I say?
information.
Women love the cack.
No, they're getting this information. They're like, oh, cool. You know, the CAC has nice. Look, they have all these women represented. They have a huge selection of ethnic candidates or whatever.
Selection.
But when you look at the ridings they're representing or they're running in, they can't win them, right? So they know, for example, that they'll essentially lose Montreal. In 2018, nobody thought they would win Laval, and they didn't win Laval in the South Shore. So the Greater Montreal area. Now this time around, I think it's gonna change. They're probably gonna pick up those areas. But back then in 2018, so they had all these ethnic candidates running in Laval, Montreal, South Shore, and women. And they're saying, see, look, we have the most women candidates.
We've set them up to fail, but we have the most.
Exactly. So
They've asked the wrong questions because they're a bunch of broads, but they're here.
So I'm just curious to see what's going to happen this time around to see exactly where they're going to place
That's
these,
funny to do that to them.
people. Yeah.
I want to help. I want to contribute. All right, sweetheart. I got it.
What writing are we losing for sure? Okay, let's pull
That's
those up.
fucked up,
Put all
bro.
the women over there, and yeah.
And no woman like says anything. They're not like, wait a second, dudes. This is some bullshit. No,
Well, look. First of all, let's just clear one thing out. There's more women represented in Parliament, whether it's federal, provincial, now than there ever was in previous years, which is a good
that's
thing.
Crazy, of course, bro. And right now is the best time to be alive in human history. Even though it's shit, it's still the best it's ever been. That's the truth.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean that it's correct, like how they're doing it. Just giving them the seats to fail.
Oh no, I agree.
Yeah, that's
100%. Yeah, but still, I don't know the figures. Maybe someone can look it up. He still does have a lot of women in caucus. It's just not as many as they ran a campaign with, because a lot of those women were put in ridings that were set up to fail, or to lose. So we'll see how it goes this time around. Anyway,
Can you set them up to win somehow?
Yeah, you put them in safe ridings,
But
in winnable ridings.
But if you put them in winnable ride, that's also like giving them like a tricycle instead of a bike. You're like, I know you can't ride that bike, so here's a tricycle.
Well, it depends how you see it. If you find a competent enough woman that is going to bring value to what you to what you want to do and to your platform and to your party, you pick a safe riding. You're like, listen, we want you because of what you can bring, so we're going to put you in this riding. The Liberal Party has been doing that.
If you have a competent, this is what I want to say. I want to see a competent, strong, independent white woman win Montréal Nord.
Okay.
That's what I want to see.
Well, the
represent, and then they're gonna be
but
like,
the
yo,
borough-
that's competent as fuck.
but the borough mayor over there in Montreal North is a white woman.
Really?
Yeah, Christine. Oh man, you guys are gonna laugh. Her name is Christine Black.
Oh, so she got in by a technicality. I like her style. I like her style.
It's just so funny that you pinpointed that one area.
I'm just
and
saying.
that the borough mayor.
Because a lot of people don't know what she looks like. I didn't know what she looks like. They just saw the voting. You're like, of course I'm voting black. Let's go.
Yeah.
I like that. That's
But
smart.
also-
That I'll tell you right now. Whoever decided to
There
put
she
her
is.
in that borough is a fucking genius. If she decided herself, she's a genius, bro.
Christine Black. She's the borough mayor.
This is
but
the
also,
smartest politician in the whole province.
but
right
also provincially, the Liberals have that seat. It's what's her name? Paul Robitaille. It's a white woman.
That is the whitest white lady I've ever seen,
here. No, I don't think so.
or one of the like. She's like.
I could be wrong, but I think she's
You
married
just
to
said
a.
that to say that, but it doesn't look like a typical white lady at all.
I could be wrong, guys. I could be wrong, but I think she's married to a black person.
Yeah, it doesn't look. What?
Yeah, thin lips. She's got thin lips. White people got
She
thin
doesn't have
lips.
thin lips. Just regular lips, bro.
No, that's thin lips, bro.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro? You're reaching.
I don't understand what you're talking about now.
He thought, I'm gonna make some jokes here, but he's got none. And then he's projecting, but the thing is, we could see. We have eyes.
Yeah. Anyway,
Moving on.
so the Liberals are famous for doing that stuff. Like all the ridings in Montreal that are safe ridings. And you're going to see in the upcoming elections, you have all these veterans that are not resigning. Everyone's abandoning ship. Everyone.
Liberals.
Yeah. You have
Here.
here. You have 9 people that have already announced that they're not running again in the next campaign. Most of them are from Montreal.
Oh, wait, hold on. I have a question. Are they not running in politics at all, or they're just leaving that party?
They're not running again in the next campaign. So what that means is that I don't know if they're going to stay active politically within the party, but they're not putting their name forward to run as a candidate and to eventually win because those seats are pretty much safe.
Is it
for the
possible
Liberal
for
Party.
them to all just switch parties?
Yeah, of course, it's possible. I don't think they're doing that, but they're older, right? These guys are they all started their career like in 2003, 2007.
So they're allowed to retire.
They're allowed to retire, but the question is now: are they leaving because it's they want to retire, or because the boat is just sinking and they don't want to spend another 4 years in opposition, which pretty much that's where the Liberal Party is going to end up again. It's a valid question. I don't know, but the fact is that they're leaving, and or the other argument is that Dominique Anglade just wants to renew her party, and she needs those safe seats to bring in people that she wants, right?
Yeah.
Which is exactly what we've been talking about. I want you. You're gonna bring something to the party, and I'm gonna give you a safe seat just so I can make sure that you're gonna win it. And most of those seats are in Montreal, because sadly that's where the Liberal Party is going to be reduced to after the next campaign. It's embarrassing. They're most probably gonna be under 20 seats. Horrible. Like this has never happened.
But they suck.
I don't know if they suck. I just
You know that they suck. That's why they're not getting votes.
I don't know if they suck. I think, and it's the funny thing is that back in 2019, I was talking with a bunch of people, and we had lost that campaign. Everybody was sad because it was like a historic loss for the Liberal Party at Quebec.
You guys took it hard.
And everyone was thinking, okay, we need to one, revamp the party, and 2, we need to reassert ourselves as the party that is closest to, we are the nationalist party. We care about Quebecers' interests, and we're the. And I was telling
the
the guys,
Liberal Party said to the National Party.
and I was telling the guys, I don't think we should do that. I think we lost that battle. Legault clearly won based on nationalism, and that's why he pretty much destroyed all the regions. He kicked our ass. How about we just let that go and focus on what our strengths are, which is the party of the economy, right? Let's just go back to let's just go back to
our
that.
roots.
Let's just focus on that.
just lie.
No. Our strategy has to be
Vote
winning.
for us, y'all get $8,000.
Our strategy is to win back those ratings. I go, we lost those fucking ratings. Focus on your base. Let's get back and focus on the economy, and let's just attack him on the economy. That's what we did. We like for 4 consecutive years, there were surplus budgets that we presented. Like, that has never happened before. So let's just stick to that. No. So for the last 4 years, the Liberal Party of Quebec has spent its time not even competing with the actual government, which is its job, but they've been competing with the other opposition parties on who's the most nationalist. Nobody gives a shit. We lost that battle. And while they were focused on doing that, the CAQ with Legault reasserted itself as the party of the economy, which came, he just flanked the Liberal Party straight out. They're like, oh, we're the economy party now. So now the Liberal Party, they cannot claim that they're the nationalist party. They can't claim that they're the party of the economy. So we're just there battling it out.
They're just a party having a party.
Battling it out with Quebec Solidaire on who is the most environment-friendly party and on, I don't even know what. So they're honestly, they're floating somewhere and they don't know what the fuck's going on.
They're in limbo.
So this is going to be a very disastrous campaign coming up in October. Everyone feels it. And it's bad because when your base starts feeling that the ship is sinking, they're just disengaged.
I really like when George talks stats like on politics. Like he gets so passionate.
Shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
So essentially what you're saying is next election coming up, there's no way around it. The CAC is winning.
Gary. I'm sure unless something dramatic happens, which I doubt. And the other misfortune is that the party, and I know this for a fact, like behind the scenes, the party was counting on getting back, all the old machine, the old people that knew how to mobilize, knew how to get money, they knew how to rally people, like the people that were there organizing, from the 2007, 2008 campaigns where the liberal machine was unbeatable. So they were really counting on getting those guys back.
And they're not coming back.
Well, guess why? Because Jean Charest is running his leadership campaign, and they all from Quebec, all the old organizers from the Liberal Party, the fundraisers and all these guys, they all just shifted and went to help Jean Charest for his leadership campaign. That leadership campaign ends in the beginning of September, a time during which our election provincially will have already started, assuming that that's what's going to happen. Let's say the elections are on the 3rd.
Second. So right now, Charest, he's waiting to see if he could win the vote internally at the Conservatives.
Exactly.
So
he can get the leadership of the Conservative Party, so he can run as leader in the next eventual election at the federal level.
What's your temperature? Who do you think is going to take that?
I think Poilievre has a huge momentum. But again, let's wait and see because Charest
has experience.
One, he has experience, but his main power comes from his appeal to the people. He's really well spoken. As soon as the debates start, and when people really get up close and experience Charest, maybe the tide will change. I don't know, but Poilievre,
serious. He reminds me of a part of my childhood.
Yeah,
remember the show Bibi et Geneviève?
Yeah.
No. He looks like Bibi. Type in Bibi et Geneviève.
I don't remember what she looks like. I remember the little jingle though.
He looks like not Bibi. He looks like Bibi, the alien, whatever. He reminds me of that. If you put them side by side beside it right now,
oh my God, you just unlocked like a deep memory.
It was like a little green alien, I think.
Yeah,
right?
what is this?
Yeah, well, that's
I remember watching
the politician.
How do you even remember what that guy looks like?
That's how a comedian's mind works, bro. It's fucked up.
Who looks like that?
Jean Charest.
Put up on
Jean Charest now, especially. He has the same haircut and everything.
Hold on, let me pull up Jean Charest.
That's so funny.
Do a side by side.
That's fucking.
I haven't brought it up for people.
That's hilarious.
Oh my God, yes, you're right.
Right? Right? That's the perfect one on the
It's
right
the
there.
hair going
yeah,
back.
yeah, look.
Oh my God, you're right.
That's incredibly funny.
Put them side by side. It's him, bro.
You're completely right.
That was him running for the elections in 93.
That's so funny.
Even the cheeks, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I have trouble. Every time I see him, I think I'm like, aliens.
Look, this is Jean Charest talking to his wife.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Look, you feel that way
His
because he's been around for a long time. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I think Poilievre has a huge momentum. I also think that the people that he's rallying are on the side of the spectrum that they would never support Jean Charest. Now, like you said, are they actually going to turn up to vote? That's the biggest question, and that's their job right now. I mean, their job is to make sure they mobilize them to get them out to vote. The good thing is that there's still a very long time to go up until September. So we'll see what happens. I feel like Poilievre has it in the bag.
I have heard some fears around Poilievre that he is really also part of the system, that he has ties, as they're saying in the chat, to the World Economic Forum.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe not directly, but indirectly. And then that scares people because they're like, holy shit, are we getting rid of one puppet to just install another?
Look, you have to.
That's why I want to have him on the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, look, you need to take what they say for granted at some point. I mean, we can't just doubt everything. He says that the reason why he's mobile, at least from what he says, is that he wants to give people their freedom back. You want and that's it's heavy because it's not as if we're oppressed over here. I mean, you can't compare us to like a China or any other.
Yeah, but that's not a. That's don't say that, bro. That's fucked up. Don't. That's
Look,
a politician.
he's playing. He's playing on.
That's like a guy that beats the shit of his wife. He's like, at least I don't burn you with cigarettes. Okay. We're not China yet. That's 100% true. But have they fucked around repeatedly? What are you talking about?
Look,
in the past 2 years,
We've had curfews.
Yeah.
They've beaten up protesters.
Yep.
They fucking froze their bank accounts.
I still think it's excessive.
They stole millions.
I think it's excessive discourse, and I mean, look,
they put on shoe polish and have parties.
It's not. I don't think it's excessive.
Anyway, in any case,
I hate it when people do that.
He's building a lot of momentum.
He beats you up, but does he rape you? Come on, why are you complaining?
Yeah.
So are you fucking stupid? In a free society, everything they've done the past 2 years wouldn't go.
Yep.
Wouldn't run. We had to vote for some of this shit. Are you guys cool with getting rid of your rights? And then all the fucking small shit parties get together like, yeah, fuck people's rights. And then 2 days later, it's like, okay, we're amending that. But we just saw
3 days later.
We just saw proof that everyone that was elected democratically voted against democracy. So fuck every idiot peasant in this country that thought that when they voted it was for democracy. And that's cool. Get the fuck out of here. No. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this shit. I'm gonna tell the truth. No, fuck that. That's unacceptable.
Anyway, look.
By the way, before we continue, sorry.
You know, guys like democracy when we vote for you. The second you get the power, you want to remove our ability to democratically decide. Get the fuck out of here.
What were you saying?
Captain YOLO dropped 5 big ones in the super chat.
Good. Thank you, Captain YOLO.
He goes, George should run on my riding of Acadie. I am resident there. Would gladly volunteer and donate to his campaign.
Is it riding for a street?
Let me tell you exactly what's happening. See,
is it riding just for Acadie?
The riding is called Acadie, and it's
really?
It's New Bordeaux, Hansik.
And that's what they call it. They just call it Acadie the riding.
Acadie. Yeah, they usually take streets names.
By the way, you should take this guy's offer for he's a well-known arsonist. he will Molotov cocktail all your opponents. Yeah.
He's a good kid.
Watch him compete.
But just Captain YOLO, just to get to what you're saying, because we're just saying that there's safe ridings that obviously the leadership in the party is going to use to parachute their own people in. That's probably one of them. But I've been working very closely with a lot of community groups like the Armenians, the Jews, and they're all disappointed because they cannot get through to the party. They want to be represented, and the party has closed the door. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do in Lacadie.
The Jews feel like they're not represented in Lacadie?
No, in general, in the party. Mind you, they had David Birnbaum, who was of Jewish origin, elected in. Remember the writing I told you guys last show, Darcy McGee.
Yeah.
So he's resigning. Name. So now I know behind the scenes that they're kind of getting together to see how they can place another Jewish person in that writing. I don't think they're gonna have an issue with that. The Jewish community is pretty well respected, so that I don't think they're gonna have a problem with that. But in any case, these are all safe writings, and the party usually puts the people that they want. That's what's going to happen in Lacadie. But to go back to the federal campaign, yeah, I think Poilievre has a lot of momentum. I've seen a lot of leadership campaigns. I've never seen this. I'm telling you, the numbers that this guy brings by him just for himself are usually numbers you see at a party convention.
Do you know why? Because a lot of people, it's kind of like it's the surprise factor. So a lot of people are used to the politicians when they argue in parliament being like, you did a bad thing, and then they're scared to go further. And then you had this guy for the past couple of years being like, bro, why are you stealing? And then have receipts like, well, okay, explain. Why are you stealing? And and they avoid, hold on, I'm going to ask the question again. Why are you stealing?
The clips that Poilievre used to put up.
Yeah, he destroyed them. He wouldn't back down.
Hilarious.
Yeah, he's like, why are you stealing, bro? Why are you doing racist shit? Why do you hate women?
I remember.
So he was just fucking rattling.
I remember two specific, and I think I sent you these. One of them was, this was a while back, questioning the government on when the budget, it was still Bill Morneau, the finance minister, and he's asking him, when is the budget going to balance?
Oh, I remember this.
And that was his only question. He had I think 4 questions. His question was the same. Mr. Speaker, can the Minister of Finance please tell us when the budget will
And then the reply would never make sense.
Down.
He'd be like, I like finger painting. I enjoy lighting. It's like, that's nice. When is this budget going to be balanced? The thing about warm weather, they would refuse to answer. Yeah, they're the worst.
It was just the funniest thing. He kept getting up and asking the exact same question. At some point, I remember it was specifically on that because, you only have a certain number of questions and then, you got to change. Yeah. The Conservatives had coordinated their question period on asking the exact same question. So everyone would get up, the same question. Next person. And I was going to call him the poor minister. He's not a poor minister, but he just kept answering nonsense, the same fucking cassette. And it was like 20 questions, the same 20 questions, different answer. And then the second clip that I found hilarious, sometimes I go back and I still watch it. The federal government had invested.
That's politic porn, bro.
Just because it's fucking hilarious the way it's set up with the cameras in the house. There was an investment that the government made. I think it was some casino or whatever that made absolute no sense. They were defaulting. They had declared bankruptcy, and yet the federal government still invested I don't know how many millions of dollars. So you have Poilievre
I
coming
need some
out.
help. What's the investment? It's a casino. You had me at ka. You had me.
So he comes out and like he explains the whole premise, but statistically, how they failed, blah blah blah, and this and that, and yet still the government finds it rational that they give our dollars to this failed operation. Any financial expert would agree that wouldn't be the right decision, and then he knows that the person getting up to answer this question is the prime minister, right? So he's like, Mr. Speaker, can the financial genius that made this decision please stand up? And he sits down, and then the way that the camera angle is set up, as he's sitting down, you see Justin Trudeau getting up. It was
So
hilarious.
embarrassing.
It was hilarious.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So the clips that he put up were fucking hilarious.
Phenomenal,
Man. It was a bit. So yeah, he's gaining a lot of momentum, and don't forget that it didn't start like this, right? The guy obviously had quite an impressive amount of people showing up, but when you go online and you see the shit 100 people, holy shit 500 people, holy shit 1,000 people, next time around that the guy comes into your area, you're just gonna go see not to recognize, just to see what the fuss is about, right?
Yeah, you recognize something happened.
1,000 people, yeah, let's go, let's check it out. So this is a huge snowball, right? And I think it's only gonna get better for him. The big question is, are they going to turn up and vote? We'll see.
Somebody in the chat says, watch the cheers Pierre gets when he says defunding CBC.
Yeah, seriously. And he's actually right about that shit. First of all, that's a black hole, okay? CBC, it's just turned into, it's not even arts and cultural center. It's not a place that'll bring up the arts, a meritocracy. It's literally become a propaganda wing with, let me sprinkle, I think this show we should put up just to be like, we're representing someone. It's nonsense. It doesn't move the country forward. They're not producing anything that people are like, Canadians like, fuck, I'm proud, that's mine. Let's show international.
Yeah, because that's the whole goal behind a state like every country has state-funded stations specifically for these reasons, to promote things that
but
Canadians
it's not. It's
like.
doing the opposite. Because what's being promoted, what people are watching in the States are certain, we got some of them, podcasts, and it's the counterculture that's being promoted. You get it? But they're not investing in anything like, oh, fuck, that's where the movement is going. They're just perpetuating the propaganda. So it's all wasted money. We're spending millions and millions of dollars to have them repeat and tell us, blackface is cool if the prime minister does it. Like, God, we don't need that. This is stupid.
Yeah.
Put our money somewhere. Put our money in on arts and cultural center that's going to move the kids. They're going to want to mobilize and create shit and get it out there. It's nonsense. Everything CBC turned into trash.
What I understand is, especially with this government that we have, is this obsession on funding, on continuing to fund things that don't work.
That fail, yeah.
Look, the CBC, I can agree that Canada should have a state-funded television. Maybe we should review the programming, or maybe look into that specifically.
They're gonna get mad when I say this, but maybe fire all of these incompetent racists that run all that shit, incompetent people, and get some young, different ethnicities, just different people that are dominating the culture right now, and have them come up with ideas and push young artists, stuff that people will be proud of.
Instead, we're focusing on nonsense, and we've mentioned this in other episodes where the government is just so adamant about legislating on the CRTC controlling online I don't understand the purpose of it.
I'll tell you the purpose.
I don't get it.
Because they're losing the culture war. That's the purpose. Why do you think they want to dominate the internet now? Why? Because they're mad. They're mad that I can do a show and mobilize people to come out, and nobody gives a fuck about them, even though they have millions of dollars behind them and we don't have any of that shit. That's why they're mad.
But what would be much more productive if these people can take a look at this independent content, and if there's value to it, obviously we're blasting everyone. I would never see this happening. But like other independent content where they're talking about culture, language, like all these interesting things, why not, take the money that you're using to fund the CBC or whatever.
Work with people like us.
And say, listen, invest money in promoting these kinds of things, but we're going to find some sort of partnership where we're going to broadcast it on CBC or whatever and give room to these creators to flourish.
I'll give you an example. Here's some funded internships. We'll give you X amount of dollars. We'll take away a couple $1 million to make sure that you guys fund your podcasting network. Bring in some young people, teach them audio visual. How does the editing work? Because the future is podcast, the future is on the internet. Teach them these skills. Let them be part of the culture. Have voices that normally they're not listened to a lot. Now, because the internet's open, help them create their own podcast so that voice, I don't know, a Pakistani family of fucking 3 that something specific, you get it, that there's a lot of it but you don't hear it, and have them be able to have their voice out there, create a podcast. That would be smart. Instead they're focused on the weirdest fucking shit, and it's all propaganda. It's all Justin's a saint.
No, but it makes no sense. Like putting this online content under the regulatory body of the CRTC, and it's just so like fluid. You don't understand.
And the reason
there's so
why
many gray zones, and you're asking questions, and they're not being answered. They're talking about just corporations online and not individual
I'm a corporation.
content. But yeah, you know what I mean. Like, well, you're a corporation, but you're doing it on an individual. Like, it's your name. Your name is registered as a company, but it's
It's a corporation.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. And still, everyone that starts on these platforms starts on an individual basis until it grows to a point where then they incorporate or they become a business. So what happens then? What happens then?
Here's another thing. They raised a good point when they go, it shouldn't even be funded. It should be a regular business. Here's what's, because you're talking about why they mad or whatever. You know what the embarrassing statistic is? I'll tell you. So they have failed. We've gone head to head on online, especially on podcasting, on Apple, this and that, with CBC funded stuff. Okay. So has Mike with Suzekut. You see them. They try to take their content, put out podcasts.
Everyone does that.
Do
now.
you know how embarrassing it must feel to be like, we gave $13 million to make sure this comes out as a podcast?
And no
and
one
some
listens to it.
asshole from Park X is fucking trampling us. Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's fucking embarrassing, bro.
That's very embarrassing.
Yeah.
Actually.
They look. It's clear what they want to do, but what's also clear is that they don't have the people there to guide them into
They
how
don't know
to do
what's
it.
going on.
And it's normal, right? Everyone is seeing the emergence of these online platforms, podcasting, and so on, and they're thinking, look, we got to be present. We have to have a presence. So they're just taking the radio content and they're just transferring it online. And even TV. Like, I follow Vashi Capellos there, whatever, Power and Politics, whatever. Not that it's any good, but, you know, so they take her audio content and then just transfer it into a podcast.
And by the way, that's also not a podcast. I'll tell you why. Because it's a podcast in a technical aspect. It's an audio file that you put on the internet. You could reach it with the RSS feed. That they got correct, technically. However, people have grown accustomed to podcasts being this open, creative outlet, not a repeat of what they already left from. They left from mainstream news. No. They left from the propaganda. So all you're doing is you're pushing the shit that they didn't want. You're just coming into their ears and you're like, hey, it's here too now. Like, yeah, but I didn't leave because it was offered in video format. No. I left because I didn't like what you were doing.
Yeah.
And now you're just doing the same thing in this new place that I'm at. I'm chilling at a new party, and you just showed up with your fucking stupid boombox. Get out of here.
I told you this, I think, and you told me that you were offered the same thing. But I think last year, I was called in by a radio station because these, not that my podcast is significant in any way, shape, or form, but I guess they saw the kind of guests that I would bring, and honestly, I bring them just because I know them personally, and that's the only reason they come, or else I don't know if I would have gotten them anyway. And they called me, they're like, hey, listen, we're seeing what you're doing. We want to give you space in our studio, in our radio station stuff, you know, and you can record them from wherever you want. You're gonna go under the banner, and I'm like, cool. Okay. So I asked a couple questions like, well, you know, what your listenership is, and, you know, they gave me their numbers, and I'm like, okay, cool. So what's in it for me, kind of thing. They're like, well, look, you're going to get access to all this base. And at some point I was thinking about it. I'm like, you know what if I get that listenership and then just transfer it onto my thing? So I started kind of thinking about that. And then they told me, well, look, I mean, you're going to pay rent. You're going to pay us $250, I think, a week or some shit like that. And I'm like, 250. I'm like, you know that I'm not monetized. I don't make money off this. I do it for fun, you know, and I put out the content for people to enjoy. They're like, yeah, well, you know, now with the listeners that we have, you're going to be able to leverage that and get sponsors. I'm like,
you're on the radio. 14 people listen to you.
I'm like, I don't know if I want to run around and find fucking sponsors. Like, that's not what I want to do. You know, maybe eventually down the line. They wanted $250 per week.
They wanted you to pay them to host your show.
Yeah, and I told them, I go, wait, explain to me the logic. Okay, I get the thousands of people that you have on a monthly. It was like 100,000.
I get paying like a producer. I'm gonna pay him. It's a fee like Poseidon, you know, and then it's up to me to make the show work and bring money.
Yeah.
And I get that, but to pay them like a licensing fee that's backwards, what they should have done is, if they believed in your content, is they pay you a licensing fee so that they can have your show and then they could put their ads on it. So they go, look, we'll give you $1,000 a month, but we're probably gonna make 10 G's a month off our fucking Metro
so
ads.
they
That
thought,
makes a lot more sense.
of course it makes sense, but they thought the opposite. Like, okay, how can we make money? Let's find people that can, gather some attention,
here's
get
what's-
some
They
good
went the
guests.
dirty scammy
But
route.
here's the
No, it's
stupid
like paying rent. We'll give you our platform, and we'll pay.
But you know why it's
we'll
dumb?
charge you.
Because they passed up. So they have shit shows because it's the radio. So they passed up an opportunity. They're like, we'd rather make a sure $250 a month instead of we put a little bit of effort and bring him on and try to get other ads and forego thousands of dollars we could have with the ads.
Let alone the guests that they cannot get.
Exactly. But they're small time. They think, no, I'd rather make just $250 today. Go long term. It's kind of like us. All the but I poured so much money into this place and into all this podcasting for years.
Yeah.
People thought I was crazy. But I knew that in the end, if we continue and it was good, people like it, they're downloading, we're going to find a way to leverage it.
I think from what I understood, they
I
wanted
believed
access.
in it. They don't believe in their product.
Look,
that's why they don't work. I believe in my product.
From what I understand, or from what I understood then, they wanted access to these kind of guests, right? I don't know if they could get them or not. I'm not going to speculate on, whatever.
We got a super chat, Poseidon.
Yeah, I'm gonna address it as soon as he's done his
But it's just funny because I told him, I go, guys, look, right now it costs me literally nothing aside from the equipment that I bought and whatever. It's it's not a big deal to produce this thing. The audio quality is fine by me, and I go, why would I pay $250 per week when I could be doing it out of the comfort of my house? This is the answer. Well, no, you can still do it at your house, and you just send us the link.
So what do I need you for?
I'm like, if I'm going to be producing it at my house anyway, why would I pay $250?
Yeah.
Like, I thought they were telling me, here's your space. Come here and do it, which I wouldn't. I wouldn't leave the comfort of my house when the production level is almost similar.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you're getting access to our people. I'm like, yeah, but I don't care really.
But, they're so, and it's funny because $250, let's say an episode or whatever to you to put them on there, it's cheaper to rent this place to do a podcast. But same thing with us. Like, let's say we rent out the space here to certain podcasters, right? So they could do their podcast. The funniest was when we got Couple Ouvert to start coming here. They're like, what the fuck? That's like, you're basically giving it to us for nothing, I'm like, yeah, we're not trying to monetize. Like, it's basically bare minimum because they came from another studio that was charging a lot more. And us, we're pretty flexible. It's basically bare minimum just so you can have a podcast. And then the whole goal is you make money. You sell your ads or whatever. Because if you overcharge, let's say, then the whole aspect of people creating something that they can make money off goes out the window. They can't make money, bro.
Look, for people that come on board and they already have their sponsors and all that stuff, it's a different conversation because they already have income and they're like, you know what, $200 or $250 or $300, whatever the price is.
Yeah, and then
maybe we
you
can
make money.
Maybe we can
that's how
put
it works,
and everything is ready. We have zero hassle. We just come record, boom, you give us the thing, and then we're ready to go, kind of thing. But for people that are starting out, what? Why are you charging them? Especially if you see a potential. Like if I had a network,
they don't see potential. The thing is people think old school. They, like me and him will see people like, oh, they'd be good for a podcast. Bring him as a guest. Or there's certain comedians that I'll be like, you should start a podcast. It's gonna be good for your career. They're good. So you see the talent and you want them to excel. The thing is with the radio people, because they went through a couple of years where they tried to cut costs, and I know they did this to like Terry and Ted on. And what they started doing is like, you know what? We'll just put younger people, put them on for 15 minutes a day. They don't need any talent. You get it? Just put it. They started to think that this is all interchangeable. They started to think that the person behind the microphone doesn't matter. It could be anyone as long as they're on the radio in that prestige, which we know doesn't work. You either have it or you don't. So if you just put someone, like I started doing the Pantelis podcast, but every Pantelis podcast, or every 2 drink minimum is like, Mike Ward, Pantelis, 2 drink minimum. This week filling in for Mike Ward and Pantelis are Steve and Roger. And it's it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. It's the personality. It's these people. Some people have it, some people don't. They don't get that. They think everything is interchangeable. They have no respect for the art of what we do and what even they do. They have no respect for the art. I know this from the Shom guys that got fired. They have no respect. They don't care, bro. Bell Media. They don't give a shit. Everyone is interchangeable.
Yeah. Did you do the super chat or?
I'm gonna do it right now because there's a
What
bit
is
of a. Yano Costa dropped $13.99 dineros.
That's
in the
fucking
chat.
so specific.
Will the morning show be on next Friday? Open parentheses. Good Friday, Orthodox Easter. Close parentheses.
I'll be here. I don't care.
We don't even know where we're gonna where we're gonna be tomorrow. I don't know. Let's hope.
I'll be here as long as these guys come in because it's George and Phil's show. I'm supposed to be an auxiliary, just
I didn't even know that.
character.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Even
Of course, yeah.
yeah.
How did you not know
The
that?
morning show with Phil and George. That's what it is.
Okay. I thought it was like Pantelis, Phil, and George, and it's the
I
morning
created
show.
this show. I created this show for you and fucking Phil.
Anyway, to get back, so look, to answer the question, hopefully, we'll see. We'll let you know next week.
Yeah.
But to get
The
to
morning show is very day by day.
but to get to what you were saying, because I'm actually thinking now, back to what you're saying about investing and just seeing the opportunity.
Yeah.
It's not about fucking looking and saying, okay, how could I make money off these people? I think you have to look at it from the inverse. But
they don't.
You have to see, okay, how much money am I willing to put down so I can get interesting content, so I can attract a crowd.
But that's how you think.
Like I'm thinking now. So look,
But first of all, that's a good business way to think. They're not. If they were good businessmen, they wouldn't have lost billions of dollars the last couple of years in radio. They don't know what they're doing.
like what I'm working on right now, and of course nothing is set in stone yet, but I've been mulling around the idea of getting some very well-known political figures. They're not active anymore, but they're very well-known on the scene. And to creating like podcast miniseries on a given issue, like Quebec nationalism, and we get a guy that has like super,
That's amazing.
super credibility, and to do like a 5-6 episode kind of thing. Obviously, it requires a lot of time, research, drafting, and you got to pay these people. And I'm not monetized; there's no money coming in, and I'm thinking, I don't care. Like I'll just pay these guys out of my pocket.
It's a worthy investment.
And let's get this, 5-6 part miniseries going. And look, eventually maybe I can run around and get sponsors. But I don't know. That's how I'm thinking. You're interesting. I have an idea. What do you want? Let's put it together. You know what I mean?
But the people that control our money, our tax dollars, don't have the same business savvy. So we're paying taxes, and we're assuming that the government has the best experts. If they're going to put our money in something that's arts and cultural related, it's going to be something that we could either help our culture, the culture grow, expand out there, or at the very least make some money on. They're going to invest in something that's going to make Canada money, and they don't. It's a bottomless black pit of propaganda. That's all it is. So there's always going to be alternative media like this that's going to grow and grow because people get tired of that shit.
And the other thing is that, and this message goes out to all those radio stations that are kicking out all these very talented hosts. They're all converting to podcasting. Like, obviously, you mentioned Terry and Ted.
Yeah.
There's Freeway Frank, I think, that just started. And these guys, they've been in the business for so long that they have access to all these...
They have their
to
own
all
base.
the money. Exactly. Like, they're going to go and say, hey, by the way, dude, this is what I'm doing now. You want to sponsor? And they trust it because of the connection that they had and the relationship
That's
they
what
had.
Terry and Ted did.
And-
well, Terry and Ted, when they had the first meeting, when I was telling them to start a podcast, and they weren't sure, like, I don't know if it's going to work, how are we going to get it monetized? And I said, dude, first thing you're going to do, like I said, simple. I've said to some other people, too, that left the radio. I said, this is what you're going to do. First, you're going to set up, you're going to know you're doing a podcast. It's not going to be stupid Zoom shit. You have to come to the studio. We're going to do it correctly. Then go to your old favorite sponsors. They already know you. They like you.
Exactly.
Tell them we're taking our show, but we're just doing it on the internet, which is open to everyone on the fucking planet.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that's what they did. And they go, fuck, that was pretty easy.
Of course,
Because,
because...
you already built, you did the
They
hard
already
work.
have it, exactly. They already have the contacts. They already have the stream, the income stream coming in from these guys. And the sad thing is that these people that they go get, I don't know if they're going to keep investing in the radio station. Like, if I know you and we have a relationship and you've been coming to me for 10, 15 years and I've been sponsoring you because of Pantelis and because of the presence that you have on radio, tomorrow when you leave the radio, the connection I have with the radio is not the same like the connection I have with you. I'm following you and not the radio. So the radio stations are losing this income.
People will always follow the person they like. And I remember when I was still when I was still project managing, when I was still doing
Consulting, whatever.
no, before that, just development.
Okay.
I remember when I left the company, like I was trying to be nice to them. I tried to give them like a notice, whatever, but they wanted to be dicks. Like, you don't even need to, we'll pay you 2 weeks if you just, like, they were being dicks because I was leaving. You remember this shit. I said, are you sure? Maybe I should talk to all like my clients that I manage, let them know that I'm leaving. Nah, we'll take care of it and everything. And 3, and they were big names too, all left a month later and try to find me at the new place because first, one of them that was a big contract, they lied to him. They go, no, Pantelis is still here. He's just not coming to the meeting. He's doing something like. And when the guy called me, the guy who owns that company, he's like, where are you? I go, oh, bro, I quit. They didn't tell you? He's like, they fucking lied. They told me that you're just busy and you're going to come around this and that. Yeah.
Wow.
So anyways, him and 2 other ones dropped and they came to me where I was at the new place. And they said the same thing. They go, we could find devs, that we could find like people do the work anywhere. But the relationship we had with the guy who was managing the account, we can't replace that. So we followed him. And I didn't even try. It's not like I poached them.
Yeah.
They found out that I left and they came to me.
It's incredible to think that, these big bosses or whatever, they undervalue the human contact, the relationships, which is for me the most important thing. It's the most important thing.
And the company that I was before, they lost because doing that shit with just one of them. My guy who you met when he came here, we took him out for dinner. Came to the nest after. Remember I made you drive him and his wife around?
No, I don't remember that. You'll tell me after.
Anyways. L.A. Anyways, it's he knows who I'm talking about. But him, average height. He was working on like a $500,000 contract with that company, and they lost it when he came to me because he's like, I'm not working with them. He's like, fuck, I'm working with you where you are now.
That's incredible.
Just because they were,
That's incredible.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Oh yeah, bro.
Yeah, I remember.
Mustache.
The girl with a good feet, with a sexy feet.
I remember. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Just because they weren't honest, just because they fucking lied, and but it's funny how they try to play it off. I had quit, and they're like, no, he's still here. Fucking bullshitters.
That's dirty, bro. But you know what's crazy is they knew the value you brought. That means they knew the value you brought,
or else they wouldn't have lied.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have lied.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, what's crazy to me is that they knew your value, and still, because of ego, they decided like, no, fuck this guy.
He's leaving. Fuck him.
Yeah, dirty, bro.
What was that?
Sorry?
What is it?
What?
Dirty.
Dirty.
So yeah, all this to say, guys, the government is wasting our money with these stupid programs. I was telling you, remember when I wanted to speak to Melanie Jolie, and she said she's gonna come here, but then she got busy with her.
Yeah. I got the same thing. They told me, yeah, sure, I'll get back to you.
They don't know because the government could also make money off. The government could make money off the big podcast now that they don't even they invest in. I already said this. They should have worked with me so we could build state of the art facilities downtown. Where investments are going to CBC.
Oh, you're talking about that?
Us.
Okay.
Yeah, it would have been huge. We rent out the spaces. It becomes like the mecca of podcasting in Canada. All the big podcasts run through us.
Yeah,
so
like a nice big umbrella.
Yeah, so the government, because they were like an investor, would get like a kickback, at the end of the year, whatever. So they would actually start making money off their cultural investment, and the culture would grow. Instead, they're like, oh, we want to regulate the internet. If he's making fun of Trudeau, that shouldn't stand. It's anti-Canadian. It's like, guys, you're so stupid. You're so stupid.
Yeah, but put yourself in their shoes, right? I mean, okay, they get this proposition, even though it's interesting, they're thinking, shit, okay, this is going to come into competition with the CBC. They're going to come in.
That's what a free market is, bro.
I know, but a free market doesn't necessarily mean that the government is going to invest in it. That's the whole idea.
But they're not investing anything. CBC is not an investment. An investment is something that you expect some kind of return at some point.
Of course there's a return, man.
This
All
is
the
a black
advertising-
hole.
Well, yeah, no, there's a return, obviously, for
And
the
the
government.
advertising ain't helping that much either, because as much as they keep pushing blackface is
Well,
good,
that's
racism is awesome, as much as they push that shit, regular people on the internet, they're like, racism isn't good.
Well,
blackface is not cool either.
That's the biggest problem now, because it's the money that is leaving, right? And it's all going to these big internet giants, Google, Facebook, and like there's no way you can compete with that. Now, and I was watching this announcement that Pablo Rodriguez made this week. He's the minister responsible for, is it the culture minister or I don't know, the patrimoine canadien, whatever. And he was saying he gave an announcement.
It's funny that we don't know it. We are the culture. We don't know.
He was asked on some side thing about the Publisac that we get and how he's thinking, because now the city of Montreal is doing an opt-in thing for like if you like, because before you would get the Publisac right away, right? Like, whether you
for
want or
people who
not.
don't know, explain what the Publisac
The
is.
Publisac is a bag. It's a company that delivers, your regional paper, some advertisements.
It has a lot of like those grocery store ads.
What do you call
flyers,
them? Flyers and all
coupons.
that stuff, coupons and all that stuff. And everybody used to get it. And if you didn't want to, you would tell them, please stop giving it, and they would stop. Now it's the opposite. Now you have to advise them that I want it, or else nobody is getting it.
I like that.
It's good as a citizen, because you're not getting this bullshit. But the problem is that with all these regional papers that would only rely on Publisac to get their paper delivered to every single person, which in certain regions, the local paper is still very much important, right? There's like local news. There's some interesting things that.
If it's important, people will opt in.
Well, that's the thing. So are they going to opt in? So he was questioned on that, and he said, well, look, we're evaluating the possibility of getting the Publisac delivered by post from Canada Post. It just gets you to understand how useless Post Canada has become. They have nothing. Now they're doing parcels, and they're like, well, you're not delivering mail anymore because nobody's fucking sending mail.
The mail is done by private companies now for Amazon.
Yeah, let's give them that contract. The problem is that Canada Post is charging 3 times the price that Publisac. So it's a huge mix-up. So in this press conference, he was questioned on what were we talking about? Oh yeah, on the internet giants, and it's like, well, look, it's gonna happen. Look at what we did with the internet giants. Now we're imposing. They're passing a bill to impose that all advertisement that they get, because Google and Facebook, they take like local content and they pass it on to Google or Facebook, and these guys don't get anything.
That's fine.
You know what I mean?
What
look,
guys?
let's say, for example, you have a regional paper that has whatever article, right? And then someone grabs that and promotes it on Google or Facebook. That newspaper doesn't get anything. It's their content. So what the government did is that...
What do you mean that newspaper doesn't get anything? If the newspaper is monetized and they're running ads, they're going to get it.
They're not running ads. So let's say I read an article. I'm a local newspaper. I read an article that is interesting. You like that article, and you're like, hey, everybody, check this out.
I get it, but where's that article? On your website?
Yeah, it's on our website. Yeah, obviously.
If you're not
So
running ads, who's making money? What are you talking about?
Look,
That's not how the internet works. If you share a link, you're not making money.
I know, but it's their content. So this is the whole idea now.
I get it, but who's making money? Where's the money? I don't understand where you think the money's
Google's making money because they're sharing content and all the...
That's not how that works. What are you, fucking 78? That's not how it works.
Not on that specific content, but your eyeballs are on Google or on Facebook, and in addition to what content you're sharing, they're gonna run an ad on something else or whatever on their platform.
Yeah, but that's... Do you hear what he's saying? That's not how the internet works.
You're on Facebook. You're spending your time on Facebook. I
share a link.
grab a link from fucking, I don't know, ParkX News.
Yeah.
And I put it on Facebook. Hey guys, interesting news on ParkX.
Those don't work. We know this.
Yeah.
Eh?
We know links on Facebook don't.
Yeah, another thing is links on... When the second you put a link that exits Facebook, they won't promote that... That's why you should put your links in the description. That's why Mike does it in the description too. If you pour a link when you're on Facebook, because Facebook wants you to stay on their website so that they can make money. So they won't promote it, and sometimes they won't even show a thumbnail. So what happens is you have 1,000 followers, maybe 12 will see it.
Yeah.
If it's an external link.
If it's an external link, even if it's YouTube, because they don't want you leaving their site. It's kind of shady. I hate that they do that shit because it makes it complicated to share your content to grow. But anyway, that's another thing.
In any case,
but also they're not gonna. They don't make money off your link. They don't.
No, I'm not saying they're making money off the link. I'm saying that because you're sharing content on their platform and the eyeballs are on their platform because you're there looking up whatever. Well, they're going to take advantage of that to
sell you something else.
Yeah, whatever, yeah. So all those ads they're selling based on the content that you're putting that belongs to another media company, that media company doesn't get anything.
But they should. It doesn't make any sense.
They don't.
Why should they get something?
Well, I don't know why they should.
They should run ads on their own site, and then when people
but nobody's on the ParkX News website or whatever.
Okay, but
you know what I mean?
but people will be because you said they're clicking. The second they click on that link, they'll go to their site, so they should be prepared. If I open up a restaurant but I have no food in it, and then I complain, they're going to the other place that has food. Well, yeah, bro, fucking buy some fucking food, bro.
Yeah.
So when people come in, you could sell them food.
Yeah, but it's difficult for them to share ad because most of the ad, first of all, it's much cheaper on Facebook or on Google. I don't know what.
No, but I'm
rates
saying
are.
What you're saying is in order, let's say 10 million people see a small article. Those 10 million people, in order to read the article, have to click and go on that site.
Yeah.
That's where the money could be made if they would run ads. If they're not running ads, how is it the fault of the people sharing? Why do you put on the internet if you don't want people to share it?
I don't disagree with you. The government, whatever they're working on, is grabbing these revenues and sending them back, like taxing.
But what revenues? There's no revenue. Are you saying?
Right
Are you saying if someone shared something on Facebook today from ParkX News, and then I'm on Facebook later and I get an ad for a rope to hang myself? ParkX News should get revenue because I saw an ad on Facebook and their link was once shared to Facebook. That is absurd.
I don't know exactly.
Does anyone at the government understand how the internet works?
I don't know how the government is trying to legislate. I don't know how the government is trying to legislate. I haven't read it, but they're saying that whatever revenue, ad revenue that these big sites are getting, they're going to take them and redistribute them to the regional or local news sources whose content is being shared on these bigger platforms.
But everything can be shared on the bigger platform.
I know, but I don't know how.
Why are they entitled to the money? So some people share their photos. So let's say people watching this show right now, they put their photos on Facebook, and then their friends scroll and see their photos. So shouldn't they be entitled? Because most people are on Facebook to chill with their friends. Shouldn't they be entitled to money from that revenue? By this logic,
So
if it's just random, someone put a link online, So
this is what he
shouldn't
said.
everyone that's watching the show right now, shouldn't they get paid by Facebook because their friends are watching their photos and it's their content?
So this is quoting the minister. It goes, il a rappelé le projet de loi C-18. So he reminded everyone of the bill C-18 qui vise à redistribuer aux médias une part des revenus que leur ont subtilisé les géants du numérique. So he says, les plateformes comme Google et Facebook utilisent le contenu créé par des professionnels des médias et diffusent gratuitement et ne payent pas un sou.
No. The people creating. So what they're saying is Google. I guess because if you search for someone, you could find them. Google is stealing stuff in Facebook, but they're the ones putting it on there.
Yeah.
For example, you're Journal de Montréal. You're the Montreal Gazette, let's say. You have your Montreal Gazette Facebook page.
Yeah.
So you put your links on there. Facebook isn't stealing it. You're putting it on there.
Yeah, exactly. They're a platform.
They're a platform.
Yeah, the big debate now is
They
that
don't know, I
Facebook...
don't think they understand what's happening.
No.
Bro, this is absurd.
No,
bro.
what they're saying is that Facebook, by doing so, obviously...
Facebook isn't doing
it's
anything.
not-
You are. You're using the platform.
Okay, I understand now.
There's much more revenue being collected through... Because obviously, if you want to advertise, you're not going to go to the Gazette newspaper or
Yeah.
website or whatever. You're going to go to Facebook. You're going to go to the Giants because you want the most eyeballs on your ad, right?
They're doing you a service.
Yeah, so... but that's how it works. I mean, that's...
I don't understand what they're saying. Bro, this is absurd.
So
This is
why...
some communist shit.
They're out of touch.
No, but if I want to advertise on Facebook and Google,
No one's stopping you.
nobody's
hold
stopping
on,
me.
they're-
But
they're
why is
not
the government?
happy.
Why is the government? I'm going to use a penalize. I don't know if that's the word that they're if that's what's happening, but they're penalizing Facebook and Google because they're making money that normally would have gone to the regional or local
How
papers.
would it have normally have gone? You haven't explained that to me yet either. In order to see that content, you have to click on it and go to the regional person's site, right? Facebook isn't making money off that.
No, but the fact that you're on Facebook doing
But
watching.
no
all
one
the-
is on Facebook. No one's like, bro, you know why I go on Facebook? Park X News.
No, absolutely.
Why don't you go on the Park X News site? If anything, Facebook is there to tell people, hey, Park X News still exists. And then you
Exactly.
go on your site and you sell ads. This is some look.
I know, and
I
that-
hate
it's
these.
weird.
I hate
This is
Facebook. I
weird.
hate Google. I hate all these cocksuckers. But guys, let's tell the truth, bro. Let's not fucking bullshit and say some communist.
No, but
crazy
I don't
shit.
understand why you have to legislate on something that is dying. I mean,
That's
we
what I'm
have
saying.
we have newspapers that look at La Presse. La Presse stopped fucking printing. It's all online. Why? Because they couldn't compete
That's the
with.
smarter move.
So I think okay. Let me try to understand. They're upset that Facebook is making ad revenue on a video that I don't know. Fucking Journal de Montréal is gonna post on Facebook. If
Or
I understand
anyone, or
correctly.
any other creator that.
Let's just use one example. One
Because look,
creator
this is
for
an
now,
example. I want to create. I
Okay.
want to create content.
Yeah.
And instead of putting it on Journal de Montréal's website or buying ad space from these guys' internet, I go and I do it on Facebook or on Google. So the government thinks that you guys are stealing ad revenue from our regional papers or whatever.
Well, the regional paper decided to put it on there
Yeah.
to get eyes.
And the ad revenue that Facebook is going to make, I think, is understandable because
They created a platform.
they create a platform.
because-
and hold on,
that
hold
you're
on.
using for free.
You're promoting. You're promoting to all these people that you didn't have access to before for
It's-
free.
No, it's the opposite. Let's say I want
No,
to.
no, hold on, because there's an algorithm, right?
Yeah.
Hold on, look. I want to promote this water bottle.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, okay, what's the best way for me to get attention? I'll go on Google or Facebook. So Google's making money for my content that advertises this bottle.
The hell are you
So-
talking about, bro? So I want to advertise something. Like, let's say I
look,
want to buy
I-
a billboard. I'm going to make it as simple as possible. Facebook is the billboard. I want to buy a billboard on the highway. Instead of me paying for the billboard, they give me the billboard for free. I put my content on there, and now the government or the billboard people have to pay me because I put my fucking company
that
there.
doesn't make
Are
sense.
you all insane?
No.
The government's out of touch, bro. That's insane. That's
Look,
insane. No.
I want to
George.
produce content that promotes this bottle, right? And I've taken ads on Facebook.
Are you the owner of the said water?
Yeah, well, yeah, well,
Of
yeah,
the
let's say I'm
company?
like, yeah,
Okay,
whatever it
okay,
is.
You're the owner of the company.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, this is cool. I came up with it. I'm going to put it on Facebook, Google, because that's where most
I gotta
attention
sell,
is. So
yeah.
that's normal, right? So I pay Facebook to run ads promoting this.
Correct.
Okay.
So the government comes in now and says, listen, it's not fair because these these smaller players are losing revenue because normally instead of doing it on Facebook, you would go to your local or regional paper to say, look what I have, guys, promote this. But you're not. You're going, and it's
How the
normal
fuck
for
is
me
that
to.
Facebook's problem?
It's not Facebook's, but that's what they're legislating on.
That's
saying,
absurd.
listen,
You know
you
whose
guys are
problem that
making.
is?
The government is saying you guys are making ad revenue from these creators
Oh,
that would normally
okay,
go
okay.
that would normally have gone to the regional guys.
So you're saying
So
you-
part of this
I understand
money that
now.
I pay is going to be collected and distributed.
So what
to
they're
these-
saying, which is absurd, is they're saying Facebook is the new place to promote products. Back in the day, used to be newspapers.
Yeah.
So these newspapers, because people refuse
Well, they're
to-
suffering. They're
'cause
losing
no
ad
one's
revenue.
reading them.
Yeah.
But that's not Facebook's fault. That's the problem. Like you said, at least La Presse realized, like, why would I
Yeah.
spend money here? Everyone's
What
digital.
they're doing instead of
That is the newspaper's fault.
Yeah.
That
This is
not,
communist
I'm so-
shit.
That's
Your
because
business
they're
doesn't
slowly-
work, bro. What do you want me to tell you?
Dude, what they're
Because
doing
they
is like
refuse to evolve.
they're slowly taking out that band-aid. Eventually, the local newspapers, like print media, is going to disappear. So, yeah, you're taking my money and you're taxing Facebook and Google, but it's only a matter of time
So hold
before
on a
these guys
second.
close,
By
right?
this logic, if I made money last month from ads, I have to give it back to a local radio station that used to get billions because they didn't. No one,
If you're
no one paid for ads on the radio because podcasts exist.
If you're
Bro, they can come
Facebook,
suck my dick.
if you're
there's
Facebook
some-
or Google, but
there's
that's
some
why
communist
they're
There's some communist shit.
You know what I mean? I saw an online job. Like I get all these notifications about jobs in public relations and communications. Still, I don't know why. And there was one that popped up for YouTube, like government relations, YouTube online content or whatever.
the future.
You know what I mean? So, and I'm reading the description just for fun, and they're like, the candidate will have a mandate to negotiate with government specifically on what we're talking about now, because that's what they're legislating on. So all these big platforms are looking for government relations specialists to negotiate with government on their positions. Like, I'm
is
not gonna, why
absurd.
would I pay you money?
No, that's insane, bro.
This is so crazy.
Nah,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
that's
It's
wild.
crazy because the government is blind to the fact that this is a dying industry.
Yeah.
So you can come up with anything you want to help support it. And look, maybe there should be a way to support them. I don't know what it is. I'm not an expert. But the fact is that everything is moving online, man. You're not going to get the guy to stop promoting his stuff on the busiest website to go and help out his like. It's not
It
going to
doesn't
happen.
make any sense. You're trying to sell a product.
I have a friend, guy.
No,
guy
they're dummies. They don't know what's going on.
I have a friend.
This podcast in the future will only be available wherever you buy abacuses.
I have a friend, and he has a consulting company, and they're experts on all this online stuff, which I don't really understand, like search engine optimization, all this bullshit. And they consult with big companies, and they got a contract from La Presse. This is years ago. On how to optimize the business, on how to, how do we redirect? It's a digital era, and so on and so forth. And the conclusion that they came up to was like, you're not fucking going anywhere.
Yeah.
There's like, you can spend millions of dollars paying me to give you advice. At the end of the day, let me save you the trouble and tell you that it's a matter of time before you crash and burn, because there's no way that you're going to compete with Google, Facebook, and all these other platforms.
But why are they competing with Google? And this doesn't make sense.
For ad
You're
revenue.
supposed to use them. Oh my God, that's so stupid.
don't even
You
have-
can make ad revenue off Google and Facebook. You have to use the platforms correctly. If they're saying, oh, how my people rather promote on Facebook than to promote on La Presse, that's because you're not online. Get online and get those people to advertise on you, because you're going to be at the same place.
Yeah, but look, before, like, you have a newspaper and you have, I don't know,
And let's say there's local businesses that advertise on newspapers, right? Let's say they paid the same price.
but they don't anymore.
But
That's
they
the
can-
problem.
they
They
can
leave.
put-
They left. They abandoned the
They
newspaper.
came to me, bro.
You know what I mean? So the newspapers are like, I don't know, fucking
Nah, they don't know. Nah, they
Joe
don't
Blow
know.
Pizza. He's no longer advertising with me, and we're losing income.
They don't, bro. They have no idea what the fuck is happening to them. That's amazing. This is hilarious.
funny, yeah.
This
We
is actually
bamboozled
funny.
them.
Yeah, bro. They got fucking bamboozled.
Well,
from
good
8 different
example.
ways.
Just a good example was Guido with the restaurant after the full closing and this and that. And then when he came back, we had started the intellectuals.
Yeah.
And I go, bro, you should just promote. We should just talk about your because he makes good pizza. So we should just talk about your fucking pizza place, bro. You should promote it. And then he's like, all right. So we started talking about intellectuals. And then it fucking boomed, bro. He was getting orders. They're like, we saw you on the show. No. He's
awesome.
getting orders. People were going in. Deliveries. Yeah, because people are watching and enjoying fucking podcasts, bro.
Exactly.
But this is the reality. And look, I don't know what
He
the
gets
government.
fans that go there and they take photos with
But
him. and shit. They
I
buy-
don't understand what the government's position is, because even on provincial level, you have all these grants and all these programs to help support these things. And like, I have local newspapers
I
that
built this
apply.
with nothing. Imagine had they given me a fucking $1 million grant. Bro, I would have been fucking Elon Musk of this shit.
No, but you have all these government programs that help. And I know this because there's a local newspaper that asked me to help him apply for these grants the government was giving. And these grants are specific for these companies, these media companies, to hire consultants to help them navigate through this new world.
Shut your business down.
It's like, yeah, and they're like, okay, give me the money and I'll just act like they all know that you're going nowhere, you're dying. Like, if La Presse is closing, if you're a smaller player, dude, it's
It's a foregone conclusion.
yeah.
Evolve or die.
That's because the new way.
Mind you, sorry to interrupt you. Some really, really local papers, they're still making it because it's like, you know, the guy's leaving, he's going to his local bakery and it's local shops.
But not
those
just-
are still working but I think it's still a matter of time.
But I know local stuff that shifted completely, and they said we'll go digital. They have newsletters, so people are still implicated in their communities because they get everything on their phone instead of we're gonna send you something in the mail, which wouldn't work. They adapted. They had young people that joined the community, and they're like, you know what? No, we have an idea. We'll go email route. Oh, it's too much. No one's gonna list it. No, trust me. And it worked because they're getting it on their phone. Sometimes I'll get updates too. You have to find a way to adapt, and everything. It's crazy the way everything's digital. I understand. It's scary, even for us. It's fucking absurd. It's completely insane that everything's digital. It's all on your phone. But since that's the reality we live in, take advantage of it because at the same time, it's also easier and there's less overhead. Instead of having 10 people, you need people to mail shit, fucking lick the envelope, send them here, spend money on that. Now you need one person to grab all the articles, put it in a newsletter, one button, and email it out. Use MailChimp.
Look,
Fucking
but look,
send that shit out.
it depends, Look, and I'll give you a specific example, and we'll talk. We'll take the local Greek paper.
A side note, just because I thought of something, and I want to honor his business acumen. Our friend Sammy, Sugar Sammy. I don't know if you know him. He's a comedian.
It rings a bell. Yeah.
Okay, he's a very big comedian. He's very successful. He also does a shit ton of money while he's practicing because he's like, I'm gonna practice my sets. I'm gonna do my secret shows. His secret shows.
Oh yeah.
He's not investing in Google or local ads. What he does is he has an email list.
Sign up. Yeah.
Sign up on his email list. So the people that get it are his fans. In an email, you go directly to them via the internet. This magical thing. He's able to sell his fucking tickets. He's a one-man conglomerate business.
Yeah, but
he's not an imbecile.
but let's agree that his followers are way. He has like a base way bigger than your local paper.
But he built it himself. That's on them. That's their fault.
Actually talented.
Yeah,
as well.
that's their fault. How was one guy able to dominate? And these people that had money behind him, they had all this. He built all that shit himself, bro.
no, I agree.
So that's what happens when you have work ethic and skill.
Look, I'll give you-
or when you're them and you just depend on government handouts.
I'll give you a very specific example on how it's just a matter of time. And we'll take the local Greek paper. There's a lot of older Greeks now that depend on this paper. They take it, they read it, and there's like they're doing okay now, those papers, because they collect ads coming from Greek businessmen that I don't think they care.
Yeah,
they
they
don't
just help.
think that my business can do well because I advertise
They
on
just
a
wanna
paper.
help out.
Yeah, it's a community thing. They're like, I'll support you. But that's gonna go away. Like the minute my parents die and that older generation is no longer here, I'm not gonna go pick up a Greek newspaper.
Yeah.
I don't care. And if they come to me to advertise for my business, I'll be like, yeah, bro, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Nobody reads it. So like,
You turn the page, it's the obituaries, and then it's just as dads. Κάθε Παρασκευή.
So that's what I'm saying. It's just a matter of time, and that goes for the Indian papers and the Pakistani papers that I worked with. They're making
Actually,
money
that would
now.
be funny if you do a Greek ad for just as dads.
Isn't it funny?
I just thought of something, by the way. I don't know if it already. I don't know if it
Αυτή
already
την εβδομάδα
exists.
ο Γιώργος τσακώνεται με τον Χριστό γιατί τρώει πολλά σουβλάκια.
I just thought of something. I don't know if it already exists. It probably already does. But you know how Audible exists for reading you books?
Mm-hmm.
What if there was an app that just read you news articles as well?
I'm sure there's something out there. The problem is not. The problem is how do you get a guy like my dad, who's in his mid-70s, to download an audio app? He barely knows how to use it. Like I think he has a smartphone, but the only thing he knows how to do is go to the phone section and dial in a number. How do you get those people to integrate this sort of lifestyle in their daily lives? It doesn't.
You have to simplify. Like my sister bought my mom the Google Home thing or whatever. So because my mom likes classical music.
Oh, so she's like one of those.
She'll go
the speaker thing, the smart speaker.
Hey Google, play classical music. And then it plays something. No, classical music. She'll argue.
That's
It's
funny.
fucking funny.
That's cute. That's very cute.
So, guys, like the technology has advanced so much and so rapidly, where this old generation is, I don't want to say completely disconnected, because there are some people that are trying and they're there. Like my dad has email, like he can communicate some things, but the vast majority of that generation has no idea about these things.
But you know what's funny is we still technically, we just do it digitally, but we still do what was always done. Something you like, you go and you find a way to support it. So the shit that I like, if it's an online subscription or whatever, it's like I'm gonna subscribe because I want this to continue. I'll support it. The people who subscribe to our Patreon, that's why they do it. They're like, I want to support this. I want more content. Like I go sometimes to on Saint Viator, Iñata. It's Andrew's new place because I like the place. I want to support it. So I want to be there. You know, you find something you like and you find a way to support it. The problem with them is they don't realize people don't like their shit. That's why they're not supporting. If someone really liked the Park X News hard-hitting journalism, which they don't do, they'd either advertise on it or they would share it or something would happen. But you're dead. And I hate to say it, but that's the truth. All this stuff, the same thing with the Gazette, why they were thinking, do we still need physical copies? People are not reading it, this and that. Because people are tired of traditional media for many reasons. The whole fake news fiasco, all that shit, right? There's a lot of reasons. But if you don't have anything compelling, if you don't have people wanting to support you, you can't force them.
I think it goes deeper than that because the people that run these, and I'll tell.
Am I going to force you to watch the shows?
No,
I
but,
can't.
and I'll tell you. I'll give you a specific because I worked very closely with the guys behind the Park X News, obviously, and for the longest time, I was telling them, guys, you need to have a digital presence. Like I had an interest in sharing articles that spoke about what we're doing politically, and I couldn't because they did not have the thing online digitally where I can go to the article, share, and put it on Facebook. Like it didn't exist.
Yeah.
Like it didn't exist. I had to grab a whole, the link on the website, and then I had to copy paste the link, and then the people would go on the website, and then I had to go find the page. Like it was.
Oh, that's crazy.
I was telling them, guys, why don't you do this? He goes, no. I don't want to have these Facebook things, and I don't trust. I'm like, what are you talking about? And just now I realized, maybe the last year or so, maybe
They
before.
evolved.
Yeah, like they have
no
individual articles with links that you can share, and I mean,
Well, I remember when I started the 4-H podcast with the boys in the basement, 2010 or whatever. And I remember in the beginning just trying to see if maybe we could get some money, going out, and businesses telling me like, this internet thing's gonna blow over, bro. It's not and I was like, fuck, there's no way, bro. Then it was me being stupid because I approached places that didn't even have websites because they thought this thing's not a real thing. Like, this internet thing's gonna blow over. Why are you guys wasting your time? And even then, 2010. You remember when you would come and take photos? 2010. I was like.
Bro.
Either I'm really stupid and I just think the internet, either I'm really stupid or the current business elite are very stupid. Odds are it's me. Turns out, no, it was the other way fucking around. The people that own these fucking businesses that thought the internet was going to blow over were completely insane. And then they missed the boat. And then I was like, nobody call. We don't know where to advertise. I told you 10, 12 years ago where to fucking advertise, you idiot. Where everyone's eyes were. Everyone's on their fucking phone. Everyone's online. This is where everyone is.
Yeah.
And even like articles like you're saying, that too at some point, bro, it's gonna have to evolve because nobody has time anymore to sit there and read.
Everything's evolving. That's why everything's short. That's why TikTok exists. Everything's evolving. Exactly. Speaking of which, because they mentioned Audible in the chat, just a side note, Audible, very good app, bro. That's where I get all my audiobooks from. I fucking love that shit. I put an audiobook in.
Yeah, Audible is good.
And I have my whole collection. Since I want to go back to something.
Yeah, I have it too, bro. Long drives, the best.
Yeah, I really like it.
Do 2-3 hour drives.
I started looking for like the same people. Like I like some people's voices, like when they read books. So then I started looking at what do they narrate? Is there a book that they narrate that I'm interested in?
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's unbelievable to see how we've evolved and where we've come.
Raymond says some will hate you enough to subscribe to. It happens. We do. We have hate subscribers. Bro, I have hate patrons. I love it.
I like the timing of those comments.
Very quickly, guys, let's just go briefly to Ukraine because something huge happened this week.
Alec Baldwin shot another Ukrainian woman.
There was, and I was getting all sorts of notifications about a Russian destroyer that was
a ship.
Yeah.
Oh, those are great ships, bro.
Now think about this.
I know from Civilization.
You have the Russian army for the longest time.
I'm not gonna brag. I got a couple destroyers in my arsenal.
And so there's one of these destroyers in flames in the middle of the Black Sea,
African American,
and it sank. And everybody's like, "What the fuck's happening over there?" So there's two sides. Obviously, the Ukrainians are saying they launched I don't know, some naval
missile attack.
Missile, whatever, and they hit it, and then it caught on fire, and then because of the fire, it exploded a bunch of the weapons that were on the boat, like the
excellent strategy.
And then it sank. And then the Russian side says, no, there was a fire that got caught on the boat that led to an explosion. And
Nikolai was cooking.
So we don't know what happens. Now, the Ukrainians say that we launched the missile and we hit it, but this is huge because Ukraine doesn't even have a navy. You know what I mean? And they attacked. And this is huge. This is like a reputed, it's called the Moskva ship. And it's obviously, it's a huge success for the Ukrainians. Yeah. If in fact the Ukrainians did it, things are shaping up in Ukraine. Well, shaping up. That's the wrong statement. But
so who has more casualties now?
Well, I don't know who has more.
Because at first they switched. At first they were like, "Oh, the Russians are being demolished," and like a few weeks later, it's like, "Oh, what the Russians have done, the casualties of Ukraine."
The reason was because here they had lied a bit in the beginning, and then they shot themselves in the foot because then they fucked over everyone's perception. People stopped caring.
One thing's for sure.
First they said they're getting massacred. We need to help them, and then they're like, we want to show that the Russians can't do anything. That they're getting slaughtered. So then they started saying the Russians are getting slaughtered. It's not a problem. So then people were like, we don't care anymore. And they're like, shit, we need them to care. No. So they fucked everything up. They should just said the truth from the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, one thing's for sure that nobody ever expected this sort of resistance from the Ukrainian people.
Why do people keep saying that? I expect anytime there's an invasion, I always expect, unless they're a bunch of pussies that decide to leave the women there and bounce. In general, I expect a huge resistance.
Well, there was a few men that tried to identify as women to escape.
I heard about that. Yeah. It's like, bro, fuck off. Stick around and fight.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to do what you have to do, man. But now, from the reports that I'm seeing, and obviously it's made very public, the Russian troops have all been transferred to the eastern provinces because they're apparently preparing a huge attack so that they can occupy considerably that area.
Can they just go back to the negotiating table and stop?
They've been
occupying?
trying. I think Turkey has taken the lead on those negotiations. They started. 2 weeks ago they were saying it's going well.
Yeah.
There's a proposal. They accepted it, but then we saw what happened in Bucha, and then all these horrible things came out, and the Russians
That's a little suspicious, right? When they were going to stop the war, we started getting footage from.
There's a lot of analysts that are saying that this is happening because.
That is very suspicious.
There's a lot of analysts that are saying that the
war
Russians
is going to stop.
they're perpetuating the attacks because they want to have more leverage in the negotiations. So that's why they're moving all the soldiers to the east. They want to really occupy that territory, and then somehow the negotiations are going to advance so that they can somehow get what they want. I still find it strange that you invade a country, you fucking killed and raped, and we saw those horrible images that came out of Bucha, and now we're thinking that all those areas that they're abandoning now, God knows what we're going to find, right? And we're going to come to a point where they're going to actually give Russia something in order to put an end to this war. Like, they're going to come out probably with the eastern Ukrainian region. I don't know what that's going to be. But I just find it's messed up that you acted illegally. You went in. You fucking, and obviously it's war on either side. Terrible things happen, and at the end, you're gonna gain ground. Like you're gonna come out of it, quote unquote, as
that's why I said, bro.
Having
you
won
can't have
something.
War sucks. You're gonna end up. War sucks for everyone, but also it's there's a lot of weirdness. That whole fucking thing, bro. It's starting to feel like one of those never-ending conflicts.
Yeah,
because if you look at this is weird. Those those Lugan and Donetsk, those areas. So before the war, before the war a while back. The Ukrainian guy was complaining. He goes, "It's a bunch of Russian separatists. No, it's Russians, right?" So then the Russians were like, "Oh yeah, the Russians are our people, so we got to take it back because it's our people."
That's
and then
the
they're
same
like,
argument.
no.
Classic argument.
They're not Russians. They're actually Ukrainians. It's like, wait, hold on a second. For a while you were complaining that they were causing trouble because the Russians. Okay, we're going to take them. Since it's Russian, we're going to take it. No, they're actually not Russian anymore. It's like, guys, shut the fuck up. Don't say shit like that. Don't tell the Russians there's a bunch of your people here. Like, well, it's so stupid.
But even if there is, man, does that give you the right to say, well, there's Russians there, we need to claim that territory?
If you're saying that you're fighting against them and you're killing them, because that's what the Russians
well,
said.
that's a stupid argument that we've seen.
It's
not only Russia, it's every country that has used that argument over the years.
Why set yourself up?
We got to protect our minorities.
Yeah.
Turkey has been doing that forever.
Yeah,
it's like
that's
a standard,
the Turkish strategy.
It's a standard
Turkey's
strategy.
going to do that to Germany one day. Wait. wait. Yeah.
And and it's funny that you're talking about this never-ending war because that's what it was like in 1984, buddy. Look, there was always the never-ending war.
I know. It seems like we're never-ending wars, and everyone talk Zelensky and Putin, this and that. But the real people that are suffering are the people down on the people that are suffering. On the Ukrainians are losing everything. The Russian soldiers, the young ones, are like, yeah, go to war.
Look, having said that, there's all these Western countries now that are investing so much more. The U.S. came out, I think, with $800 million package to help Ukraine. Canada came out this week and gave, I think, over $500 million.
But they didn't have money for their citizens.
Dollars.
They're sending running businesses.
They're sending close to 200 military soldiers to Poland, apparently to help with the people that are evacuating. For humanitarian reasons. They're thinking of mobilizing the Baltic countries, right? Because Russia has been hinting that, fucking Finland, Sweden, you're next.
They never. By the way,
whoa,
Russia
whoa.
never hinted at that. Finland and Sweden themselves, like, let's say the truth. Let's at least tell the
Hold
truth.
on, yeah,
Yeah,
Finland
yeah.
and
They
Sweden
said that. Well,
themselves
fucking
came out.
look at what happened in Ukraine. Maybe we need to be protected by the West as well. And
We're
Russia
talking
came
about
out and
that.
said, if you join,
as soon as Ukraine announced that they wanted to go with the West, they got attacked. So you're doing the same thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Also, Finland and Sweden, they said they're going to join NATO, and then Russia said.
Well, that's what we're talking about now. So they came out and said, "Fuck it, look, we need this protection because if that's what's happening in Ukraine, fuck you, we're gonna get protected." And now Russia says, "Well, you make a move, we're sending nuclear arsenal right in the middle of the fucking water, pointing directly at you. You better not make any moves." So
all
they're-
of Europe, they said, actually.
Yeah. So what the fuck is that? I don't understand. Are we asking for it at this point? Like, I don't get what's going on.
Look, guys, it's the chicken and the egg. I mean, look, if you are these countries and you're seeing that you're constantly being aggressed by Russia, and I get your argument that
But they're
you
not.
brought this to our border, so we need to retaliate. The question is, well, why did we bring that to your border? Is there any reason for us to be afraid of you? And I think
Yeah,
there
because it
is.
was the USSR.
Yeah.
It's communism. We're fighting
Yeah.
it. But I believe that ended.
And again, it's not the first time
I
that
feel like Russia doesn't want more land, bro. Like, how much more land?
no,
do they
no.
need?
It's
Oh,
been
they want it all,
it's
bro.
been years now that Putin has
They
been
want it all,
suggesting.
bro.
It's
No. They're
Dude,
not
it's
going
been
to start.
years. It's been years that Putin has
Yeah,
been
yeah.
suggesting to not
Expand.
assemble the entire Soviet Union, but to get like the Ukraine. Look what
Yeah.
happened with Georgia, Chechnya. They've been
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
this, and the Baltic countries.
It is for strategic reasons, but they want. It's
Okay.
still they want it. They're hungry for it. They're showing that they're hungry for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it maybe wouldn't have happened if they didn't have the threat of NATO. That's true. That pissed them off. But
Yeah.
but they're still very expansionist. They've been the last couple of years
Okay,
very
okay.
expansionist. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Because what they do is whenever something doesn't go their way, like let's say Georgia, right? Whenever something and normally not go their way is if somebody tries to tie into NATO. What their reaction has been fuck negotiating, bro. It's war. Like they take it as a. I understand why they take it as a war thing because that's why NATO exists is to fucking fight Russia. But at the same time, we live in 2022 now. We have to start negotiating, bro. We have to stop.
Yeah, bro. We have
Yeah,
nuclear
but-
weapons.
well,
bro.
they are. They have
It's
been
no longer
negotiating.
sword and shield, bro.
No, but they have been
or even-
negotiating. It just doesn't lead to anything. And again, I'm just curious to see how serious they are in these negotiations. I mean, I don't think there's anything serious happening there.
Oh shit! Don't forget that Russia invaded Finland during World War II.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
know
of
that.
course, yeah.
We know that.
And don't forget that Germany.
They got
invaded-
clobbered. They
don't
got
forget that
clobbered.
Germany invaded everyone.
Yeah.
And they got clobbered. Russia had to go back, re-strategize, and then they went back and essentially just walked all over Finland.
yeah. But yeah, you got to. I don't know why the fucking at this day and age, bro. Everything has to be about fucking war and kill, and we know the horrors of it, and still they do it.
It's human nature, buddy. Bro, I think it's not. I think there's it's always going to be this vicious cycle over and over, just different times, and we're always gonna evolve. It's like I was listening to the book of Dune. It's the same bullshit.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna find a
We're
fucking
just
reason.
we're just gonna evolve. We're gonna become, we're gonna have better technology, but we're always
More
just gonna
better.
More better to kill me, bro.
Yeah, we're just always gonna keep fighting. I think it's the only way we progress too. If you think about it, think of all the advances we've made in humanity.
Yeah, it's all military technology.
You know what I mean?
know.
So I mean,
But we have reached a point now where advances in technology are lucrative not just for the military, they're lucrative in business because they open markets.
Yeah.
So let's say iPhones, touchscreens, video games, there's a huge economy of billions of people.
Yeah.
So technology can move forward. So we've actually created what we used to need the military for, to create lasers and all that. Now we have the actual market doing it themselves, actual private businesses that aren't going to war doing it themselves. So we don't need that to progress scientifically anymore. There are other ways. The problem is there's so much history and there's still so many people that vote for the dumbest leaders, the worst leaders, us included in Canada, we did the same thing, who set countries back. Who cause, and you know what? It's like that the old saying was, fucking good men. What was it? It was
Strong men,
Strong men
yeah.
create good times. Good times create soft men. Soft men create bad times. We're in that time right now. Soft men. Trudeau has created him and his cronies a very tough time.
Yeah.
Very, very tough time.
And it's yet to come, I think.
Yeah.
for
Oh,
the
we haven't even
hardest.
faced
Yeah,
it. Wait,
yeah.
we're gonna
I
eat.
think-
We're gonna eat it soon
Nah,
too.
we've
So
scratched
these
the
kind of people now that we allow to run the world are creating, are in the midst of creating a very hard time for everyone.
Yeah.
And what's it gonna do? It's gonna take tough people
Exactly.
to take everyone out of it, and they're gonna be hailed as heroes up until people are comfortable again. And then they're gonna
Exactly.
be the enemy, and it's gonna go.
There you go. It's the vicious cycle. It's gonna. That's why I'm just enjoying the ride, bro.
Yeah.
Just try to have fun. Try to enjoy life.
Yeah, try to enjoy. Try to travel.
Yeah, try to travel, and if somebody comes attacks your home, bro, defend your home.
Yeah,
That's
defend
it.
your home with it, but don't make it don't make it the be all end all
Exactly.
response to everything.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's it. I think that's what you got to take out of life. Is this is always gonna happen? You just gotta enjoy it.
So it is Friday. Try not to kill your neighbors. Patreon.com/Pantelis to stop the war on intellect. Patreon.com/Pantelis. Join us over there. And also our boy Phil here. Our boy Phil. Sorry. George. God damn it. I'm so sorry, George. I compare you to another bald guy. The comments of Pantelis is racist. All bald people look the same to him are going to come out now. So our boy George here is dropping his new podcast, his new episode of Just Us Dads. Just Us Dads latest episode. Talk about what, George?
Actually, there's no episode this week. It's coming next week, and it's the 100th episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you have guests?
We don't have guests, but we have a certain, little
surprise?
surprises. Yeah, there's a few surprises for the 100th. Very proud that we got there, especially considering the fact that we didn't think we were going to make it past the first one.
Somehow they did it. The odd couple themselves, the odd triplets of Belleville. So join George and his cronies and Just Us Dads. Links are in the description. Our boy Phil is working today. He's out there making a commercial for some air company, some airplane place. I don't know. He's legit high stakes stuff. So Phil, Balabanos.com. Links are in the description. Support Phil. Join him when he does his podcast. And also, if you need a commercial in your business, he'll make a propaganda film for you. Our boy Poseidon, behind the console right now, is also on Twitch, twitch.tv/DeepScience69. He plays video games, and you can watch him cry over the games he plays. He's not that good at video games. He loves them, but he ain't too good. DeepScience69 is his handle on Twitter and on Instagram. Follow him on Instagram and on Twitter. He's mostly active on Instagram, but I have seen him tweet or share or retweet the occasional tidbit of information. So Twitter and Instagram, DeepScience69. All of my stuff are at PantelisComedy.com. Links are in the description. Patreon.com/Pantelis. Support us. Do not support the war or the government. Support us instead. Patreon.com/Pantelis. Thank you guys. Have a great weekend. Happy Easter if you're celebrating fake Easter. And go fuck yourselves.